This is not amateur hour that we're going with here.
No, we haven't missed it. They must have done it in the club rooms or out in the front before the game, because they're all making their way, or Central's just saying, we've taken the initiative, we're going to go this way.
And now it's Romsey holding up with in their nice little tight huddle. Maybe they're all just trying to catch their breath back from such a long warm-up. But yeah, like you said, it is an important day for Melton today. You know, to set up a club in this area where there's so many different clubs they've got to compete against, you know, and to get it to where it is today, it's a fantastic effort and something that they should be very proud of themselves. So,
and it's an unusual. So for everyone, Romsey are kicking to your right of screen. They're kicking to not the club rooms end. Let's just put it that way. And you know, Melton itself, football, like Melton Bloods won the flag last year in Ballarat Football League, but you know, Melton South are struggling. They've been trying to get back in the Riddle League for a little while. We know Rockbank are having a tough run. Big town, they can carry 4 clubs.
Yep.
They're making their way out. This is the most eerie start to a game I think I've ever experienced. There's something wrong here. It's bizarre.
I thought my headphones might have been played up there because there's not a lot of sound coming. There's no cheering from the crowd. But you are right. Melton are kicking towards the club rooms ends of the ground, so we're just sort of waiting for the final players to get in their positions now, and we'll kick off very shortly.
So we're going to let you start, as you normally do, because you can start all the games off, and players is making their way into positions now. For the ruck in Melton, for Romsey is Nathan Hoy. Looking forward to a big game from him. Sitting down there for Aaron Patterson in the middle as well. We've got Nathan Blair in there as well for the Redbacks. Also, we've got William DePetro is in there as well. Sorry, that's Mac Burkett is in there as well. For Centrals, Jake Armstead is in there. They're all tactically moving themselves around.
Evan
also,
Donohue's in there. And Jared Spry will be in there.
So here we go.
The siren's gone. Umpire balls the ball up. Tap down's one down by Melton Centrals. Burkett dribbles the ball along the ground. Spry on the outer wing. Ball's in dispute. Picked up by Nathan Hoy. Handball's at the back towards Nathan Blair. He's ducked in that tackle. Umpire's called play unfairly. Aaron Patterson on the bottom of that pack. And the umpire's called for a ball up. Ball gets thrown in the air. Nathan Hoy wins that decisively that time. Matt Burkett tracks the ball down. Ball's bouncing around. Jake Armstead's in there as well. Ball is just in dispute again, and another ball up here. We've travelled about maybe 15 metres to the right-hand side of screen, and we've had 3 stoppages already.
So haven't gone far. Hoy gets up, but Central's win the ball, and it's just a scrap down the middle. Central's going to clear it. Just a really rough kick going out of the middle, out to Tommy, who will going to stick with that all day. But it's picked up by Kane Brinkhouse, and he turned it over, and it's gone over to Central, but the Romsey got the numbers out there through Pretzel, and he takes the ball, a good mark halfback flank, plays on his left foot, just kicks it out into the wing looking for someone to go to, but Centrals are going to take the mark out there, and that's a good grab.
Central's looking to return the ball back inside 50, gives the handball off along the outer wing. That's a chiselling ball, and it hits Jared Scott. Jared Scott's just outside 50 on the outer half forward flank for Melton. Handball's over the top to Armstead. Ball doesn't hit the target. Bounces around. Well done, Corey Purcell, to dispute that ball there. Ball's out of bounds in front of the Melton Centrals interchange bench.
That was good play, because he put his hand up and he stopped a certain way. They tried to play it. You can see Centrals, they just want to carry and run.
Yeah. And I think Romsey might have been aware of that, because Purcell was very active on the mark there.
So it's Sinclair versus Hoy. Hoy pops the ball down the front. Romsey got the numbers at the moment, and Hoy actually going to clean up his own work for a big ruckman. Good play. Just kicks it down in front of the coach's box. Romsey got the numbers there, but it's just he's been pulled off the ball. I think the umpire's going to pay a free kick. No, he's just been thrown out. The umpire's letting this go. This is right in front of the Romsey coach's box, and the umpire's going to come in and ball it up. Right centre wing, right in front of the umpire's box.
Yeah, I think the Romsey player there was extremely lucky not to give away a free kick. Hoy goes up, wins the tap down out right in front of the coach's box. Kicked away by Jake Charge towards forward 50. Well picked up by Thornton Gielen there. As ball's got out of bounds on the half-forward flank for Melton.
Don't you wish they just played on this side of the ground?
It'd be much
so
easier.
Much easier for us. Umpire's going to throw it in. Short throw in, but Melton Central's worked away to the front, and they're just shuffling the ball along the ground, trying to get it out. Romsey have got the numbers, and he's just trying to fight his way out through the pack. But it's come out, kicked off the ground by the big ruckman Hoy, and Romsey got the numbers. Picks up, handball, no, he's run out of bounds. He's going to throw it in right back in front of the coach's box for Romsey.
It'd be interesting to see if the two ruckmen here have learnt from the last 3 boundary throw-ins. As we said, they are young boundary umpires, but the ball is not travelling that far.
No, they need
he's dropping very short.
They need to bring the boundary umpire in about 10 metres. Well, we hope they do, because we can't see from here.
Ball's thrown in. Nathan Hoy wins that tap out again, adds back over the back for a set play. Ball is picked up and it's run backwards towards Kane Brinkhouse, who spills the ball. Ball is in dispute on the half-forward flank. Melton seems to have won one possession here. Kicked the ball up, not 15. Play on from the umpires called. Well done by Romsey. Nathan Tassari, right foot, puts it out in front of the Romsey player on the half-back flank. The ball is on the outer wing. We've got Darcy Lockins. Sends the ball over Jack Jedwad's head. And the ball has gone out of bounds on the right forward flank for Romsey.
So it looks like this is the attacking side of the ground. Ball's getting pushed over to where the breeze is blowing it. Young umpire's going to throw her in. That's a good throw, but it's gone short again. But it's hit down on the ground. Centrals get the quick kick away from the middle of the pack. Taps the ball in front of him, and that's Sinclair for the Centrals. He's going to tap the ball out in front of him, and he's going to ball it in again. This time centre wing.
The game sort of started how we thought, didn't we, Paul?
Yeah,
it wasn't quite sure. They're both just sort of feeling each other out here.
Certainly no high. Let's just put it that way. Umpire's going to throw it back in.
Umpire throws it in. Tap out is one down by Melton Centrals. It goes straight to Matt Burkett. Looks like he dropped the ball there, but he's been given away, and he's fallen straight into the back of the Melton player there, Matt Burkett. Sloppy. So that's Jake Armstead's got the ball now. Centre wing, just outside the centre square. Looks forward, sends the ball in, just inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken there by Romsey. Jax Kinnear.
Kinnear's got the ball, just going to chip it across the ground. Oh, they were both arguing for it, and it came out towards Raymond. Kicks the ball along this ground. Scrappy kick out of defence. They want to clean this up, the Redbacks, but they're using their hands, and it's going to kick it down through centre wing, looking down to the half-forward line. Oh, good contest and a good mark for Melton Centrals. Plays on by hand, kicks it out to Armstead. He's been busy across their half-back at the moment for him, and it kicks it out wide, and it's going to go out of bounds again in front of the scoreboard. So here we are, we're about 5-10 minutes into the first quarter and still no score.
The start of the game has matched the eerie feeling before the game. There's no real high, there's no real low. It's just a very steady stream so far. So as we wait for the boundary umpire, throws the ball in nice and deep this time. Gives both ruckmen a fair chance. One down by Hoy, knocks it attackingly forward. But Melton Central's here to clean it up. Send the ball inside forward 50. Jax Kinnear. Oh, Jax Kinnear has dropped an absolute sitter there, and now he's just sitting on top of it. Oh, I thought he was a chance to be holding the ball there, but the ball will be balled up just inside the forward 50 for Melton Central.
So both ruckmen setting themselves. Umpire throws it up. The Centrals win it, and it comes down to Rogers, and he's been tackled by all the Romsey players. We're going to have another throw up again. It has not moved hardly at all, sitting about 35-40 metres out from the Melton Central's goal. Umpire puts it up in the air. Just another neutral one comes down around. Romsey got the numbers. They're trying to fight their way through the pack. And the umpire's picked up a free kick here, and it is going to Romsey. Be careful, number 22, because you can throw him away, Darcy Peavy. You start doing that type of stuff.
The ball's been marked on the outer wing as a turnover there from Nathan Tassari for Melton Central. Sends it back and forward. Kick to kick style has gone straight back down to
Tassari.
Nathan Tassari again, so he gets a second chance to make it up. This time he hits Nathan Hoy about centre wing, right outside the boundary line.
Been busy, Hoy. He's actually doing quite well in the ruck around the ground.
Dangerous handball inside to Aiden Smith. Smith gets the ball out. Romsey looked to set forward deep inside forward 50. And it's a very good contest there by Melton Central. The ball's come to ground. That's Aaron Patterson off to Jack Jedwell on his left foot.
You think he's dobbed this?
That is a great kick, Jack Jedwell. That's a great start. On the left foot, that's not bad for the big fella. No,
first blood to Romsey. So Romsey a 1 goal straight. Melton Central's yet to score, and what we can only say is it was a bit of a scrappy opening for both teams. But yes, you're right. They're probably just feeling each other out at the moment. But Hoy and the both of the ruckmen have been actually really good, and so's Corey Purcell across the back line. He's been going. He's very busy for him as well. So
yeah, as well as for Melton Centrals, you've got Jake Armstead as well. He started on fire like he has this season so far. So, well, really, the first highlight of the game seems to be that left foot goal from Jack Jedwell. So, hopefully, that gives it a bit of a kickstart.
It needs it.
We're trying to pump it up here, guys. So the ball's back in the centre, waiting for our umpire to ball the ball up here. In the ruck for Romsey. Is won it down.
Good Good contest for the Melton Central ruckman. Just gets the ball, pops it up, but it's been smacked forward by young Kane Brinkhouse. But Central's got the numbers. They're going to try and play it off. Oh, he's gone holding the ball. Great tackle.
Corey Purcell again.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic tackle. He's looking out wide. He's going to kick it wide, and he's going to put his Romsey player under a bit of pressure, but he's just too good to take the mark, and that's young Adamson. Adamson takes off, left-hand handball, looking at, and he gets the ball back, the old 1-2 on his left foot, just kicks it long, but he's kicked it straight to a Melton Central's player across half-back for them.
Yeah, I'm not sure that 1-2 worked there.
On, take off and kick it through Sproul. Sproul just kicks it along. Oh, big leap and great defence. That's a golden fist award if we've seen one today. Great punch-out.
It makes the great Danny Foley very proud up in the sky, doesn't it? They've got to love the spud. Ball be thrown in just in front of the 8 Homes broadcast out the side, on the other side of the wing. Ball's thrown in wide. Walsh misses the tap out there. Corey Purcell puts the pressure on, affects the kick high. Up goes Kane Brinkhouse at the back. That's great body work. Oh, he's dropped the mark and then done all the hard work. He couldn't finish it off. Melton Central's here. Romsey, with the pressure, have dialed it right up here in the back pocket, but the ball is still bouncing around. Nate Tassari gets the clearing kick on the right foot. He has missed his target there in Dean Walsh, and the ball is trickled out for another boundary throw in, this time inside 450 at Melton Central's end.
So, a good opportunity in Central's end. They had an opportunity to score, they just couldn't cleanly get it in. Yeah. Umpire's going to throw it over his head, and that's the best. That's a good toss in for the young fella. So, top down on the ground by Smith. Smith got it, and the Romsey Centrals have got numbers, but it comes back out through Patterson. They can hear you when you whisper it to me, mate. You know that one.
I was trying to think which one it was.
So Romsey is working hard out in the wing. This is a really scrappy affair, this one. It's just players jumping in everywhere. But the Centrals have got the ball out, and that's out through Charge. Charge kicks the ball along, and they've taken a mark. Now, here's an opportunity for them, and it comes out through Hayden. Hayden just kicks it long, but the Romsey are going to have the numbers there.
And Melton Centrals have had a flying shot at goal, and they've missed everything here, out of bounds on the full. That was from Jobson. That's a poor finish here. Darcy Peavy to bring the ball in. Swift kicks across goal dangerously. Lands in between 2 Romsey players, and is trickled out in the back pocket here. Peavy's kick was aimed for Jax Kinnear and Nath Raymond, and it went in between neither of them. So Jared Scott there for Melton Central was able to affect the ball, kick the ball inside 450. That's well worked there by the little fella. Ball's thrown in deep. One down cleanly by Melton Centrals towards Spry. Spry has been wrapped up cleanly here. A repeat stoppage here. Darcy Peavy with a great tackle.
This is an opportunity for Centrals here. They need to take this. Underwood's going to go up in the ruck. And he taps the ball forward into open space, but Romsey have got the numbers there. And it's just another good tackle, and it's just a nice neutral play. Underwood's going again, up against Smith. Smith taps it out into the open, looking for a bit of clearance, but it's a real scrappy. Oh, he's got him higher in the neck, and I thought he might have got a free kick then. The umpire's going to come in and ball it up again. Now, this is where they pick a free kick out of nothing around here normally.
I think Kyle Rogers has been watching a bit too much WWE there.
Smith just taps it out. On his left foot, he just gets a mongrel kick out, but it comes out to Blair. Blair just kicks it along, and they've got the numbers here at the moment, and it comes out to the mystery player in number 28, who we don't have.
I think it's Ali Khalil. I think he's
Ali, you're right, it is Ali. Ali's got the ball, hands it over to Lockins. Lockins, just a nice short kick, but it's too short. But they've got the numbers there, coming out to Walsh. Walsh is under enormous pressure, and they've turned it over here, out through Armistead, who's done a terrific job. Working hard here, but the Romsey, great tackle. This is just pressure everywhere here. Ball's coming down, there's players going down left, right, and centre for Centrals. And this is an enormous pressure. The umpire's picked out a free kick here. It's going to Centrals. And it's going to Armitage, who's been extremely busy all day.
I think
so centre wing.
The free kick there was the only thing that was going to clear that stoppage.
Yeah.
So we've got Armstead looking forward towards, kicks it long towards Hayden Geelan. Over the back, he's got to hit Thornton Geelan on his left foot. Short chip.
Good.
It's bounced off Jobson here. Well done, Raymond. Raymond gives the handball over. Ball is trickled out right in front of Kinnear.
And he's had his shoulder taped, and that one really hurt for Jobson. It's really tickled him up. Yes. So right in front of us now. It's good to see. We can actually see him.
Boundary umpire gets ready to throw the ball in here. That's a big heave. Ball's one at the back down there by Smith. Kicks the ball into the centre wing where there's no one really there.
Dangerous spot to kick the football to as well. But Romsey are going to have numbers there by the look of it. Good tackle. Good tackle.
Well worked there by Mitch Adamson from Romsey, because that was a dangerous kick there.
Gee, there's a lot of pressure on the ball carriers everywhere today. For a big ground, this is not opening up at all. Tapped down the rim by Sinclair. And we've got another throw up right in the middle of the 50-metre arc down the Melton Central's end of the ground.
Romsey have set up behind the ball here with an extra in front of Jobson. They know how dangerous he is.
Here's an opportunity.
It's not going to matter,
and
though.
He's kicked it. Great goal. Great goal for Jared Scott from Melton Centrals.
That's the problem there.
Crumbed beautifully.
Yeah, Romsey gambled and had the one back, and they left one up at the stoppage free, and off he went.
So it's good. That was a great bit of clearance play. And that's the way they've got to. They've got to try and open this up, because Romsey are going to start putting an enormous amount of pressure. That was Evan Donahue, who number 16 for Centrals.
Yeah, so again, this it has not been a pretty game.
Nightmare.
It's not been a pretty game, but that was well worked there from the stoppage. They had the extra player up and they made the most of it.
The umpire's going to ball that up again, because he threw it to the advantage of the Melton Centrals players, or the Romsey player, sorry.
Well,
Don't see that happen very often in local footy, where they recall a throw up.
That's how bad this game is going at the moment. Even the umpire can't be bothered.
No, we've got to pump it up. Let's go. Let's work our best to make this interesting for everyone.
Umpire Darmanin throws the ball up high. One down there by Sinclair from Centrals down to Thornton Gill, and he's trying to play for the free kick. Not picked up by the umpire. Jonathan Ferry gets the ball out. Ball's kicked up in the air. Thornton Gill and marks the ball at centre half forward for Melton Centrals.
I'm glad I'm not buying real estate from that umpire. On his left foot, that's a good long kick. Looking down for the targets. There's the little crummers out the back again. Well, he's central the ball up beautifully, but there's absolutely no one there. And that was Jared Scott, who's been really dangerous for him. He's just kicked it straight across goals, and we're right in the forward pocket for Melton Centrals. We're going to have it thrown in again.
Yeah, we had all the Romsey guys go up in there to contest that ball then, and young Jared Scott stayed down and had the chance to lose the ball, but no one followed him through.
So Dylan Johnson for Melton Central, you just got to get it out clear like he did last time, and give young Jared Scott an opportunity. But it's a short throw, and these two ruckmen to start reading this. They're going back about 25 metres, expecting these young kids to be able to throw it that far. They're just not making it. Umpire's got the ball again, just thrown it up. Central's trying to knock it clear into the open like we expected, and there was an opportunity again. Gone down to Spry, and Spry's been pinged for holding the ball.
Jared Scott there was almost into another goal then. He's looking dangerous up forward.
He is. As soon as they give him some space and open, he's just too quick.
Yeah. So the ball is kicked out there by Lukey Newnham.
Bad turnover.
Yeah, that's a bad spot. And a dangerous player to kick the ball to as well, Dylan Jobson.
Yeah.
We mentioned him at the start of the game. He was their big threat. We've seen him just about maybe 3 or 4 minutes ago get a big hit in the shoulder, but he seems to have shaken it off, because now he's 35 metres out. Sharp angle on the outer side, but looks pretty confident, doesn't he?
Well, if they train and this is where they'd be doing all their final kicks before they go into the club rooms on his big left foot, and he just pops it up. That's a good-looking goal. He's kicked it. That puts Centrals in front. 2 goals straight in Melton Centrals. To Romsey, 1 goal straight.
Well, that's exactly why he was confident. As you said, just before they run into the training session, end of the training session, run into the club rooms. 6-7 pot shots from the boundary line. Everyone tries to do the Peter Dacos, and he's just gone back and nailed it.
Very comfortable, and they're looking pretty good, Centrals.
Yeah, it is a scrappy game, but it's a scrappy game due to their high pressure that they're putting on. Yeah. So no one's been able to get a clear space except Central's young Jared Scott in the forward line. Yeah, they might have to tighten up a little bit on him, Nathan Tassari.
Yeah, so look, the Centrals are trying to get it out in the open. What's the umpire picked a 6-6-6 here, has he?
Yeah, it looks like the Romsey interchange player was coming on and didn't get on in time.
So they've had their warning. Brockman go up. Hoy's just too tall, brings it down, but it doesn't really do much with it. The ball just goes, it's kicked off the ground by Blair for the Redbacks. Ball's tunnel along the ground. There's Dobson, Hoy again. He's been busy actually around the ground. Kicked out down to Burkett, who puts the ball up high, looking down for Jack Jedwab, but the ball's going to be cleared out again by Centrals. No, there's a lot more pressure on the ground. No, Romsey have finally got the numbers there. Back to Jedwab again on his left foot. Kicks it to this hot spot, but the ball's gone over the head. There's a lot of pressure now, and there's an opportunity for Centrals to clear it with hands. Comes back across the ground. Dangerous kick because it didn't make its target. Central's going to clear it out, though. Oh, he's been used my hand. This is enormous pressure for him here. They got the numbers. Kicked out down and through Tyson. Tyson's got the ball, but it's been turned over, and they're working really hard here for Romsey, and there's a good kick. And that was from young Burkett, who hit on his left foot.
Yeah, Matty Burkett's been a very good midfielder in this league for a long
Jack
time.
Slavic's the one having the shot for goal. Now, you know him better than all of us because you know all these players. You drink with them every night of the week.
No, this is one of the new boys brought to the club, so that's why I wasn't overly keen to jump in who it was.
Shout at half-time whether you get it or not. Will he kick it?
I'm going for him, yep.
That's because you just bleed red and black.
Yeah. Why not?
And he has
He has hit the post halfway up. It was looking great on target for a long time there, and it swung late.
I'd probably suggest you go down the club a bit more and watch training if that's the case.
It's too cold and wet in Romsey that time of night, so I'm inside.
They never said you were the toughest player.
No. Fair weather, they called me.
Fair call.
Ball's been brought back in here by Melton Centrals. Coming to the commentary side. Kicks it long outside 50. Ball's been put up there to Fenton. Fenton turns the ball inside. Romsey have turned the ball over here on the half-forward flank. It's just pinging around again. Umpire's got to put no. He's going to let this go. Melton Centrals win the clearance. Kicked it over the head of Nathan Hoy. Ball's bounced down to Kinnear. Kinnear sends it inside. That's a great mark. Matty Burkett. He's had a lot of the ball. It's the inside 50 bullet. Doesn't quite hit its target. Aaron Patterson picks the ball up loose. He gets trips over. Ball spills out the back. Ball is kicked out of Melton Central's back 50, straight up in the air.
Oh,
that's a great mark.
Hasn't made the distance.
Straight up and down the chimney, but poor Matty Burkett has gone up high and landed straight on his back here.
Nearly mark of the day if it went the distance.
Yeah. The previous umpire would have paid that. He paid an 8-metre kick before.
Now we got the letter early in the year. We've got to be really good to the umpires.
Nathan Blair wins that tap out, but it's just gone straight down to Melton Centrals. Melton Centrals this way, that way, working out by hands. Zigzag. I thought that was holding the ball there, but the ball has been turned over. Romsey players run into each other. Ball's run on the right-hand side. It's been kicked back in, but it's been marked well there by Sproul.
They're well set up, the Centrals in defence. He's going to kick it back. No, he's going to come back down. Oh, that's going to go out in the full. That's a big, wide kick, if I've read that rightly. No, the umpire's paid the free kick. Obviously, we can't see what's going on, so he's just driven it down long. He's looking down here now for
your mate Tommy. Ball bounced out in front of Tommy. Poor fella. He was on there.
He was.
I was looking forward to getting you calling him and running in.
No, he's just known as Tommy today because I cannot say that name if I tried.
So the ball be thrown out on the outer wing here. Just Melton Central side of centre. Ball's thrown in well. Hoy's pushed out away too easily there by Fenton. And ball is trickled out again for another out of bounds. Romsey play it down. Darcy Peavy, I believe that is. Yes, it is.
He's popped the finger out. No, it's gone back in.
They're breeding tough in Romsey, Paul, you know that. The ball is thrown back in. Big punch forward there by Nathan Hoy. Ball runs down and is collected by Hayden Payne. He wins the free kick. Hayden Payne kicks the ball out by Armstead. He's got the ball on centre wing. So he's played on. He's been called to play on. He's kicked the ball into the centre, looking for Underwood. Go over the back. Purcell misses the target in Brinkhouse. Goes and collects his mess up, and that's a great kick on the outer side wing. Walsh plays on, wheels around on his left foot. Ball's kicked indiscriminately towards the centre half back. Aaron Patterson wins the ball. Ball's out, given out wide to Matt Burkett. Sends the ball in forward 50 over the back. Who's going to get there first? Melton Centrals, but he spilt the ball. Ball is bouncing around. Jed Wobb's after him. Jed Wobb's unable to grab the Melton Centrals player. The ball is out of bounds in the left forward pocket for Romsey. Messy play, but at least Romsey kept the ball moving forward there, but the pressure stayed up the whole way from Melton Centrals. They've got to be happy with that. Just waiting for the ball to be thrown in here. Ruckman are ready. Ball's thrown in. One down by Nathan Blair, but the ball just goes straight back into the pack again. Umpire calls for a ball up. Ball's thrown up in the left forward pocket there for Romsey. Taken away by Melton Centrals. Sends it deep. Oh, ball's been marked well on the outer wing there by Corey Purcell. Purcell assesses his options. And there goes the quarter time siren. So it is 2 straight 12 to 1-1-7. Melton Central's leading. Paul, what can we say about that first quarter?
Scrappy.
That's probably the word I would use to describe it. Yep.
Yeah, no, it was that. Look, when the ball got out in the open, Centrals looked better.
Yep.
Romsey were trying to pinpoint targets, and fair enough too, but the skill set wasn't good enough. Centrals, when they, you could see they just want to play on fast, and their pressure was enormous. This game obviously means a really lot to this football club. You can see today they've come out today with a real purpose. They look better than Romsey, and their shots a goal were cleaner shots. I mean, Jack's just a class player, so I mean he's going to get those goals. But the way they came forward was just a little bit cleaner. It was played between the two 50-metre arcs, and it was just a scrap. Yeah. It was honestly, and both sides should be commended for the pressure, but when you've got two big ruckmen like that, they've got to start getting the ball out in the open and letting their players run, because what they're doing, they're just bringing the ball down to ground and putting enormous pressure onto the ball, the midfielders and that, to try and get it out. You've got to clear it out. Yeah, and that's there was a couple of times there when Nathan Hoyd tried to give it the big heave-ho, but then Melton Centrals were awake to that too, because they had the players set up defensively, grab the ball, and then they were out in the open. So and it's got they're big wide wings. There's plenty of room to run here.
Yep.
They've got to start being a bit smart in how they actually set it up, probably with Romsey. Going back to Central, I was actually really quite impressed the way they played their footy. Yeah, their pressure was enormous.
And then to finish off their work, young Jared Spry, he could have easily had 3 in that quarter.
Well, he could, and look, he's clever. They caught him out there in the forward pocket here on his left foot, and he just centred the ball, but no one was there, and they've got to be better set up that way. I mean, there are a lot of players seem to be drawn to the footy, not holding position, and that's something Central's have got to look at. Start holding your ground, and so they're kicking to spots, not just kicking to nowhere. And that's where the scrap's starting to happen. But what probably not disappointed me with Romsey, that's not the right word. What I was surprised with Romsey about was they weren't clean.
Yeah.
They're coming out of the ground with a lot of pressure put on them, and they're just not hitting their targets.
Yeah, the two players for Romsey that stood out for me in that quarter were Matty Burkett and Corey Purcell.
Yeah.
But even those two players, Corey Purcell's only young. I think he was under 19s 2 years ago. Very good footballer. But again, he still was making uncharacteristic errors, but he went and cleaned up his error. That was the thing that made him redeem himself. He cleaned up his errors. Matty Burkett's been around for a long time, hitting targets inside forward 50. But overall, I would say out of the top 10 players on the ground, 7 would be Melton Centrals at the moment.
I agree with you. It's hard to know what the wind's doing. It seems to be blowing straight into our faces by the wind in the microphones, but look, the club room is the scoring end of the ground. This quarter, Romsey want to clean this up. I mean, this could quite easily sneak away from them, and the talent pool doesn't seem enormously deep.
Yeah.
But they certainly have big advantages with Jack and the big ruckman too. So they've got to do some work.
Yeah, yeah. And I think both coaches here, both Justin Sherman and also Matty Sprower, they'll be reiterating the positives out of that quarter. But
the pressures are positive.
Both have room for improvement. So. The scoreline basically reflects the game, doesn't it?
It does.
4 scoring shots in a quarter.
On a
beautiful day with, we've got a little bit of breeze right now, but during that quarter there was nothing to speak of in weather-wise. So,
well, let's be honest, every game we've done this year, they haven't been high-scoring affairs. They're all been 6-8 goal games.
So you reckon we're the Moz, Paul? Hope Jordan's not listening to this.
No. You're probably right.
Nah, look, there's not much to say other than there's room for improvement in both teams, but at the moment, Melton is the better team.
Absolutely, and
that hurts me to say, as you know.
Well, they're leading on the scoreboard. Doesn't be Einstein to work that one out. So, looking at the game itself, though, when you start getting high pressure games like this, it's about the older team being able to sustain it longer than the younger team, and that's probably where Romsey will be looking to make a bit of a difference here. They do have a little bit more experience. But home ground advantage here for the Centrals as well. You take that into account, it's worth a few goals from them. They've been impressive.
Yeah.
And we knew they were going to be competitive because they pushed Wallen right to the limit. You saw them against Rockbank where they were reasonably effective. It looks like one of the players is coming off here. The guy who dislocated his finger for Romsey early in the game, he's heading off to being taken off. Looks like he's going to the docks.
Yeah, he doesn't look overly happy, does he? So
he popped his finger out over here in the middle of the wing here, so he's heading off. So that'll leave him one down on the bench for rotations.
Yeah, he's a small defender, usually a bit of a lockdown defender too. So, that might have been why Nathan Sari got pushed across to Jared Spry there. Jared Scott, sorry. Mm-hmm. And this could be a little bit of an issue here for Romsey, but let's hope that he's not too bad and he can get it strapped up and get back out there in the second quarter. So
looking at him walking past, he's got a little pinky that's going right angle.
Yeah, and he is shaking his friends as his mates ask the question. So it's not looking overly positive for the young fella. But
no,
it's been a long quarter-time break.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it's an interesting feeling. I can definitely tell you that much. But there's not really much more to say about this game so far other than
we're filling in time by voices.
And what we thought at the start of the game hasn't really turned out. Although, the key players we picked out like Armstead and Jobson and Thornton Geelan, these players have been effective in that quarter.
So we'll go through the goal kickers. So for Centrals, it is young Jared Scott's got 1 goal. Dylan Jobson's got 1. He's been their multiple goal kicker all year, so I would expect him to be one of the key forwards. And for Romsey, it's Jack Jebb, what was normally a high possession, high goal kicker for them as well.
Yeah, so Jack's sort of come out of scrappy play that was just out of nowhere on the left foot from the boundary line. Whereas, Jared Scott and Dylan Jobson's, those were more set plays. Yep. Scott's was from the centre, the ball up in the 25, 30 out from goal at Melton's end, and it was a set play, tapped to the back, had the extra player, he wheeled around, and then Jobson's was from a horrible turnover there from Romsey in the back pocket, but he went from the boundary line. He was sound of mind the second he took that mark that he was going to kick that goal, and it went straight over the goal umpire's hat. So
what are they going to be brave to do in this quarter here? I mean, the first team that's going to open this up and start using the corridor, because all they're doing is going around that outer flank all day, and that's where the coaches are, and that's where you get your possessions count. That's where the statisticians are sitting, so make sure you get your right numbers. But the first team is going to be brave enough to open up and start using this corridor. He's going to open this game up.
Yeah, and I think the team that's not going to just mark the ball, sit back, assess his options, give time for the defence to get back, because at the moment it's a very stop-start game. There's not a lot of free-flowing in it, and they're playing on the opposite side to us, which is the wind's blowing back towards us. So they're actually kicking into the defensive side of the ground. So it's going to be very hard to try and kick a goal from that side, but it'd be interesting to see how they come out this quarter.
Well, both goals were kicked from that side of the ground over, if you think of it. Both Jack Jebb and
Jobson.
Jobson's was kicked there, and the only one that was done was a crumb from young Jared Scott. So Romsey are out in position, waiting for Centrals to come out. They don't rush anything.
No, they're sort of running on their own time schedule, aren't they, guys?
Just waiting for the people to clear the field, and then we'll go with the golden tonsils of the Romsey King himself. He can start this one again.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it. I can't wait.
Oh, look, it was fantastic. He had a crown. They had red carpet for you today, all the locals. You are super famous in this town.
I am. So starting in the centre square is Evan Donoghue. We've got Will Thornton Geelan, and we've got Jake Armstead and we have Connor Charge for Melton Centrals. For Romsey, we have Nath Hoy, Matty Burkett, Aaron Patterson, and Nath Blair. So we'll have Donoghue versus Hoy to start the centre bounce, as we just wait for the last 5 people to trickle off the ground in the left forward pocket for Romsey. Not in any great hurry. Umpire's waiting.
Yeah, no one's in a great hurry today.
Enjoying the nice sunshine while it's out. Umpire's called for the siren. There we go. Hoy versus Donoghue. One down there by Hoy, down to Blair. Gives a quick handball off towards Patterson. He's tackled well by Thornton Geelan. Ball's in dispute. And I think we're going to have another repeat stoppage. So that was nice and quick.
You got to earn your free kicks today, don't you?
Yeah. But Donoghue versus Hoy will recommence. Hoy wins it down, misses Blair with the tap down. Well done there by Hayden Payne. Sends the ball forward for Melton Centrals.
Now there's a great opportunity for Romsey. You're going to try and clear it out. Just a quick kick in the middle, but it's in a dangerous spot. But they've got out of it with Patterson. Patterson's going to play it out wide. They're just going to use that outer flank again and make it really difficult for us today, but it's a good mark by St. Melton Centrals. They've got the ball out there, and that's out through Spry. Spry kicks it out wide, right in front of the scoreboard, looking for something to come into. He's going to be brave, and no, he's going to kick it back down the line again to a pack of players. Up went Kinnear for Romsey, but it didn't take the grab, and the ball's hit the deck, and the umpire's going to come in and ball it up right on the arc of the 50. Kicking to the right of your screen to where Romsey are kicking.
So ball's thrown up. Hoy wins that tap down. Blair on the outer boundary sends the ball up deep inside. Forward 50 towards Khalil. Khalil got his man under the ball, but the ball bounced back over his head. Khalil runs onto it, set up perfect. Oh, he's dropped it again. Khalil this way, that way. Handballs the ball. I think that's going to be holding the ball against Romsey. No, it hasn't been paid. So ball is in dispute.
Oh, that's a
dangerous tackle there. Thornton Geelan, and he's been paid that too.
Yeah, just be careful with those. That's a sling tackle in every way, shape or form. So it's a free kick out to Centrals. Far side of the ground. They're just going to keep kicking it down the line here all day. Romsey just get it, drive it back into the middle of the ground, and it's decked down to Armistead. Armistead's got the ball. He's been busy. He's been in defence for him. Just going to play it back down then, looking for it, and it's a good hit up too. Central's just kicked the ball along. Now there's an opportunity, but this is where speed kills. So it's down to Jared Scott again, who gave it, but a great smother from the Romsey players. But the Central boys get the ball up, Campbell over his head. Romsey have got the numbers. They're going to turn it over here, but Centrals are working incredibly tough and hard in the bottom of the pack. The umpire's going to come in. We're going to ball it all up again, and they've been working hard. That was Mitch Adamson, who's for Romsey, who's working really hard then with young Jackson Kinnear. Umpire's going to throw it up, right centre forward. Ball goes up. Hoy's been dominant in the ruck today. Tapped it down and has just been held to him as they threw him to the ground. That was Corey Pertzel.
So as we said during the quarter-time break, though, Hoy is dominant, but he's still just hitting the ball straight back down to the stoppage.
Start clearing it out.
And there he goes. Exactly done. Hoy's done that down towards the commentary side wing. Ball's bouncing around in dispute still. The ball. This is just a commentator's nightmare today.
Yeah.
Ball comes out the back towards Melton Centrals. Ball is just pinging around left and right. Lockins for Romsey. Blair gets the ball in some space, sends the ball off the side of his boot towards the right. Jack Jedwab, 1 versus 2. Jedwab handballs the ball out to Khalil.
But there's
Khalil coming
forward.
Inside. Luckily, he's get the boot on the ball there, and Nathan Blair's going to mark 35 out straight in front.
Now, this is an opportunity. That's why when they get the ball out in the open, it's easier for them to score, and that's due to the Mountain Central pressure. But I'm not sure how much more they can keep this up. But where it went right for them was Nathan Hoy starting to tap the ball out in the open and trying to clear the clearances.
Yeah, and you sort of felt for Jedwab there, He gave the handball out because he was 2 versus 1, but there was no one ahead for Khalil to go to. So.
And they're pushing up high because they turned around, there was just nothing. They put it up, and their midfielders worked really well to give them an opportunity.
So let's have this the captain's goal here for Nathan Blair. It's come off the side of his boot, I think.
No, he's nailed it. Umpires are moved.
Well done, Nathan Blair. Captain's goal. First highlight of the second quarter. So the score is now 2-1, 13 to 2 straight. Romsey's in front.
First time today Romsey been in front.
Yeah, and
no, that's not true. Jack hit the first one.
It was also the first time that they actually got into some space and went through the corridor.
Yeah,
I believe a person in my co-commentator might have said that would have worked.
Well, might be fat and not dumb.
You want to come to Romsey and help me coach these guys or what?
Done too much coaching in my time, mate. My days are done.
I'll let you take this, Paul.
Umpire tosses it up. Donohue's for Centrals, but Hoy again just smashes the ball forward, and that's what we're made for. Romsey have got the numbers. They're running onto it now. Chips up in the air, and that's a great little grab. Great play. So Darcy Lockins for Romsey has got the ball. He's only about 25 metres out in front, and this is where it becomes nervous territory for every player. They expect to kick him, and it's the hardest kick you'll do.
Yeah, young Darcy Lockins.
But see the difference. Open, wide play. They've just got to start getting the ball out, and they're starting to wake up to it now, and this is what's going to happen.
This is Darcy's second senior game. I think he was the co-captain of the under-9s Gisborne team, premiership team last year.
Oh, we only produced cream over there, mate. I'll tell you now. Darcy Lockins comes in and has nailed it. Well done, Darcy. Fantastic.
And that was a great centre clearance here. That was a great centre clearance by Walsh. He just burst through the pack, and his hit to Darcy Lockins was absolutely perfect. So not much you can do as a defender there.
No, and they're starting to open it up. And so they're hitting out into the clearances, what we all said should happen. It's happening. And look at they're starting to get some goals. So what are Central's going to do about this now? Central's now got to drop an extra player in front of Hoy. So if Hoy's going to hit the ball forward like he has been, they need another number there. But they also got to start getting it out, because if they start scrapping all day, they're not going to win this game.
Yeah, I was noticing at the stoppage there that the Romsey boys were standing behind their Melton Central's boys, pushing them to the centre of the contest for allow Hoy to hit it out.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened. One down that time by Donohue and the Centrals. He goes and gets his own clearance. Great one-handed Kuda-like pick up there. Sends the ball into 450.
Great grab.
It's a screamer.
That was fantastic.
Down there from
Kyle Rogers. Kicks the ball along, and that's a good grab too.
Jobson. Too big, too strong for Nath Raymond there.
Both quick play. That's, doesn't give the defenders opportunity, especially with 6'6". They can't get the numbers back. So if you're a big forward and you can run into the space on a 6'6" and give yourself that room, it's really tough for a defender to stop.
I wanted Rogers to give us a bit more time to talk up his mark.
No, that was a great grab. That'll be on the highlights reel this week.
Centre forward, that's exactly what you want to be taking.
So Dylan Jobson coming in for his second goal. First goal for the quarter for him. He needs to kick this to bring Centrals back in. A big left foot, and he's brought that around absolutely beautifully. Great goal. That's Dylan's second. That puts Melton Centrals to 3 goals straight to Romsey 3-1-19. So we got 1 point ball game, mate. We got a close one.
That was well done by Dylan Jobson there. He knew the second he took that ball exactly what he had to do with that.
He's a good kick.
He is. This is probably the second time I've seen him live. It is the second time I've seen him live this season. And he is just so confident with his kicking technique that...
Big left footer, mate.
Why not?
Pushes out to that pocket, gives himself the chance. He did it on the other side of the ground. He leads to his left foot advantage.
Yeah, he opens the angle up with that. So in the ruck now we have Smith versus Donahue. So this is a chance for Centrals to get up and about here. Centrals win the tap down towards Armistead, but the ball's taken away by Burkett. Kicks on his non-preferred foot, his right foot.
Oh, he's played on too.
Oh, he has on the outer wing. Looks inside towards Smith. Ball doesn't make the distance. Brinkhouse, that's brave. Puts his head over the ball, picks the ball up, sends it towards forward. Turned over there, picked up by Donahue for Centrals. Turns around, kicks it deep inside 50. Centrals got the numbers here.
And that's a little Jared Scott again. Brings it back out to Jake Charge. Put down. Jared Scott's got the ball on his left foot and he's having a shot for goal. This will be a great goal if he gets it. But there's a good mark right in front of it, and that's our old mate.
That's Tommy? No, it's not Tommy, is it?
No, we're just waiting. Oh, that's Dylan Jobson going for his second goal for the quarter.
Yeah, there's a fair size disadvantage between...
Jared Scott's lively for him, isn't he?
And his left foot is lethal, isn't it?
He's lightning. Romsey haven't got a batch up for him down there. He's just too fast. And he keeps coming back into the middle on that left foot.
Yep. Feel a bit sorry for me old mate Nath Raymond here.
Don't be biased. He's not allowed to be.
The size disadvantage, he's coming up to Jobson's shoulder here, and Jobson's making the most of it, isn't he?
That's his third goal in the half, so he's done incredibly well. He's in for a bag if this continues.
And what do we say about kicking over that net? It's going to be a long chase for that boundary umpire to go get that footy, so we might have to fill in some time as well here. Jared Scott is causing all sorts of headaches here for Romsey.
He has, and that's both. Well, all the goal kickers is only Dobson and Jared Scott who have got them, but they're also the ones they're waxing each other and targeting. So Romsey going to have to do something about Scott.
Yeah, well, we picked Jobson out before the game, but we didn't pick out Scott.
No.
Let's hopefully that Justin Sherman's got an excuse for got a solution for him.
Well, Jobson's kicked multiple goals all year, so they knew he was going to be a good player. So, but they're bringing the ball down quite nicely to him now. So, and the game's opened up a little bit now, I think.
And you look at the 450 now. There's a lot of space for Jobson down there. They know, and same as Jebwob and Hoy down at Romsey's end. Both teams are up high, allowing their big forwards space.
So Hayden Smith's in the ruck for Romsey. Good hit down by Donahue. But Romsey got the numbers and he kicks it out wide, and there's a nice mark out in the wing. He brings it out, plays on quick on his left foot, kicks it long. Down there's Blair who just punches away. Romsey got the numbers now, and that's a great hit up to Darcy Lockins. Lockins with the ball. He's too far out to kick it. He's going to need to find a target. There's not a lot leading. Hoy should be putting his hand up in the air for this one, and that's where they're going. And Nathan Hoy, well done.
That's a great fat side kick there from Lockins, isn't it?
He's good, and he was waiting for Hoy to go to make some space and everything open. They all pushed to the middle, and Hoy just worked his way out to his pocket.
Yeah, Lockins there sort of made Hoy run to exactly where he wanted to.
So the ruckman's curse. Is he a good kick?
He's a very good kick. For a big man, Nathan Hoy has very, very good skills.
Oh, you know what you've just done.
He happens to be my next door neighbour also, so if he misses it, I know where to go complain.
Hoy comes in and has kicked a point.
Well, I'll be knocking on his door when I get home. Don't worry about that. So the ball will be brought in here.
You promised us you knew all these players backwards.
I know him very well. He's just let me down.
Centrals bring the ball in through Sproul. On his right foot, kicks it long towards the boundary line. They've got the numbers down there. Romsey pick it up and clear it and centre it again. And there's another opportunity for Hoy, but he's going to be too far out. Jack Jebwob, he's got the mark. The umpire's paid it. So Jebwob, he's coming in. Actually, they need this one because actually they're going goal for goal this quarter. It's opened right up.
Yeah.
And we know he is a great kick.
Yeah, and look, I think Jedwab might have got the forward benefit of the doubt there. I'm not exactly sure it come off his hands first, but usually in these days, it's a forward who comes down with the mark is one that's paid it. So
No, as a forward these days, you get nothing.
Oh, you've been watching the wrong game, I think.
As a forward myself in the past, crucified. Jack Jedwab comes in. Those bright orange boots. You want to be a great goal kicker to wear those boots, and the umpire does not move. So that's Jack's second goal.
I think the celebration started the second that made contact with his boot then. He knew exactly where that ball was going.
Confident player and star player when you wear bright orange boots like that. You want to be able to kick well.
The Jedwab family, they're
Not short of confidence?
No, they're embroiled down at the Romsey Footy Club. They're Jack's younger brother Hamish, he's the coach of the reserves team. His dad Eden, he's been president of the junior and senior club for years. Young Archie's out there with the water bottle, giving it to his brother now. So they're just Romsey through and through, these guys. So there's the sort of family that makes our club keep going. So
Our club.
Well done to Jack. Yeah, we're not commentating the game. It's all right. So ball will be thrown up in here. Smith versus Donahue again. Smith wins that tap down, but Donahue hits it back towards Purtell. Purtell wheels around on his right boot, kicks it out, looking for Lockins again. Oh, that's a great tackle there by Sproul. Didn't give Lockins a chance there to do anything with that footy.
Young players these days and the pressure they put on. It used to be around getting the ball and getting possessions. Now they pride themselves on tackling.
Yeah, I was always a fat, slow back pocket, so I was all about pressure. Ball's out. Thornton Gillen gives the ball off. Purtell's on the bottom of the pack here. That's high and in the back, I would have thought.
He's
paid holding the ball.
Well, you and I know nothing about umpiring then.
And Corey Purtell's asking the exact same question. So the pressure was put on there by Adam Tomic. It's a glorious mallet he has.
Yeah, Tommy Alvin, kicks the ball on his left foot down. You've got a plethora of left footers here, Melton Centrals. Pressure kicked out there by Jared Spry. Spry turned it over though. Here comes Romsey's in the middle. Comes down through DiPietro. Takes off. Handed it over to Walsh. Walsh has gone wide. And then now there's a great opportunity. And Hoy is out here by himself in the pocket. Jedwab, if he doesn't take it, and that was far too easy. And the thing they've got to be careful of, Nathan Hoy was just strolling in by himself. No one manning him up at all. So Jedwab is going in for his third goal. Second for the quarter.
You could see young Kirk Fenton there had all the fear in his eyes, as you could imagine, as that ball was coming towards Jedwab. And Jedwab just did what all smart forwards do. Didn't allow for the body contact.
Yep.
Waited for Fenton to turn around and went straight at the ball. In comes Jack. Those bright yellow boots, they are just fantastic, aren't they?
Bit of a skip, unusual end. Way he comes in and he just slots that comfortably.
So that's Jack's third. Jack versus Jobson here. We got 3 versus 3. Big key forwards.
That's what they're going to be careful of here, and we've mentioned it a couple of times. Romsey got their big ruckman resting forward. Now they've got the Bono sitting down there on Hoy, and if there's not a foot difference in height, and look, you just don't have the height to match him. You don't have the height to match him, but you just got to stop the ball getting to him.
Well, when you have someone like Jack Jedwab who has to take your number one backman,
yep.
And Hoy's half a foot taller than Jedwab.
Yep.
So the pressure's all there, but this is where Donahue in the centre has to make the most of Hoy being out of the ruck. And he is winning the tap-outs, but
Aiden Smith's neutralising, and that's what you want to have happen. Yep. So we're interested to see how we go here. Donahue versus Smith. Umpire just throws it up. Smith wins it down for Romsey. Ball's been driven forward, but it's come out through Hayden for Centrals, but they've got the numbers. There's a lot of Romsey players around the ball here. It's just a scrap here again, and there's just a quick kick out by Romsey, but it was smothered by the Melton Centrals player, and it's been brought down the ground. The umpire's going to ball it up again. Yeah,
Aaron Patterson there, like an absolute bull, just chasing that ball down no matter what happens. So we've got Smith versus Donahue again on the half-forward flank for Romsey. Smith just pushes Donahue out the way, gets the handball away. Patterson sends it in off the side of the boot. Romsey's in front. That was Slavich. Couldn't quite take the mark.
So lucky not to get a free kick then.
And the ball has been pushed out into the right forward pocket for Romsey for a throw in here. This quarter's amped up a little bit, hasn't it? It's given us a bit more highlight, a bit more to talk about.
We can't see the scoreboard because they're standing in front of it and covered it for us, which is not helping our cause. Umpire's about to throw the ball in. Smith. Done by Donahue. Donahue just taps to the boundary line, but out to Slavic. got the ball for St Romsey, and it's going to be ball thrown in front of the Melton Central's box.
I hate to tell you, Paul, but I don't think the scoreboard's going to help us too much because at the moment it reads 5 straight 30 to Melton to 3-1-19 Romsey, and we definitely know that's not correct.
No,
so.
not at all. So the scoreboard's wrong, so we'll do our best to keep the score for you. Smith hits the ball down. Romsey going to try and clear it out by hand and bring it back in, so Smith gets tackled again. Romsey trying to get it, but the Centrals have got numbers. It's just a scrap. They're just all pushing it forward. This is scrappy under 10s footy at best. Pertzel, is it? Pertzel had a ball for Romsey, and the umpire's going to ball it up again.
So the ball will be balled up right in front of the Romsey interchange bench. One down there by Smith, uncontested. Pertzel running onto it. The ball has been out of bounds for a throw in.
No, it's a free kick. Free kick's gone out to Donahue. Kicks the ball along into the middle of the ground. Down there to Bono's trying to get the ball and put some pressure on it. And this is the players that just stacks in the middle of the ground. The umpire once again for about the 50th time this quarter is going to ball it up.
So it'll be built up right on centre wing here. One down by Donahue. Big smash forward. Ball trickles past Blair. And the ball is bouncing around. Nathan Raymond gives a sweeping handball on the outer side wing. Adamson sends it deep forward for Romsey. Back with the flight comes Slavic. Ball is bouncing around just left and right. We're not sure exactly where the ball's going here with these players. But it was kicked away by Jordan Lindsay for Melton to the centre wing. Ball is... it's been kept in by Melton there, which was to the disadvantage because it was all Romsey at the back.
Now they've got a switch on. They're going to kick it out wide, but they've turned it over straight into the arms of one of the Melton Central players who brings it back to the middle of the ground, and that's down to Jake Charge. Charge kicks it out wide, and that's good set of hands nearly by Dobson, who's got a few goals on his sleeve today already. Kicked out down to Kinnear. Kinnear going to bring it out to Lockins. Lockins on central wing has the ball, looks inside. Kicking along. Hoy was out by himself, but he's just kicked into a bad spot, and it's gone down to Joshua Spry for Centrals, who brings the ball into the middle of the ground, down to Kirk Fenton. Fenton's going to kick it back down to the middle. Dangerous spot to kick, and that's a terrible kick. And it's a turnover. It gives Romsey every opportunity here. On the left foot, look for Jadwab again. The ball hits the deck. Central's got numbers. They're going to try and clear it out, but he just stands there and puts his hands in the air. Out to Jake Armistead. Brings it out. He's pushed down after play. I'm surprised that's not a free kick down the ground. The umpire is going to pay. Oh, that was deliberate.
It had to be one or the other, though, didn't it? It had to be deliberate or the free kick as he got hit after the ball. So be brought inside here. Mark's taken by Corey Pertzel. Assesses his option. Hoy makes a lead. That's ignored. Off to Dean Walsh in the forward pocket. He plays on. Walsh now goes towards the fat side. Hoy's got the height. He just stood there trying to take a specky. Hoy didn't even get off the ground.
He tried to.
The ball bounces up and down.
He put his knee up to go for a ride and just stood there.
The ball's kicked out by Fenton for Melton Centrals.
Good mark.
And the mark has been taken there by Aidan Smith at centre half forward for Romsey.
They're starting to open this up a little bit now, Romsey.
Melton have the numbers back here, so they've gone to the height of Hoy and Jebwab. Hoy's pushed his way to the front, but well done by Fenton. Spoiled the ball. Lockins rats him up. Ball's out to Sproul, who's then tackled by Jedwab. Ball will be balled up about 45 out from Romsey goal.
Oh, Nathan Hoy will be absolutely cursing himself for dropping that.
I'm not exactly sure what his attempted screamer was.
No, it was good to watch, though.
Hoy goes up versus Fenton here, knocks it forward. It's all Melton at the back of the contest here. Blair wraps him up and takes over Ben Tyson, who was quite willing to take that ball.
So in those ruck contests then with Nathan, he's got to hit that over the back. Yeah. That's defensive going to the boundary line. When you're in your forward pocket, you've got to hit it over the back, give everyone an opportunity. Hoy hits it down on the ground.
Just like that.
Yeah, just like that. Hit it down the ground. There's just going to be stacks on here, and the umpire's going to ball it up again. So this is where Romsey have got about 7 or 8 players around the ball. You've got to start opening out, pushing out a little bit here. Hoy just taps it long out to Jedwab. Jedwab's gang tackled by about 4 Melton Central players, and we're going to have another ball up.
Yeah, this is a very congested forward 50 here for Romsey.
If Romsey start pushing out, the Melton defenders will go with them and they'll give them an opportunity to open up.
Fenton wins that tap out down towards Connor Charge. Charge gives a handball off to his brother Jake Charge, who then gives off to Tyson and kicks the ball forward. Contests the ball. Big spoil there by Nath Raymond. Ball lands in Dean Walsh's hands and the ball will be balled up right on the 50 commentary side.
Nathan Desari, he was off then. He wanted to have a king.
He goes like a true backman. The back up will be taken by Nathan Blair here, but one's by Fenton over the back towards the boundary line. picked up by Romsey, sent forward by Callum Sankey. And that's a
Jedwab!
Jedwab. What a screamer!
Oh, what a grab. And a fantastic play by Nathan Blair to bring that ball back into the middle of the ground then.
And Callum Sankey sent that ball in right. He was hemmed in on the boundary line here, chucked it on his left foot, and up he went. And Jedwab with an absolute screamer.
Oh, that's mark of the day so far. And we've had a couple of contenders as well.
Yeah, this second quarter is definitely much more full of highlights than the first quarter was. So let's see if Jack can go back and kick his fourth.
So it's 5 goals straight to Melton Centrals to absolutely no idea what Romsey is at the moment.
Yeah, we don't think that
We'll
scoreboard's
sort that
correct. So that'll get sorted out at halftime, I think. In comes Jedwab, the hop, the skip.
And the jump.
And he has nailed it, and he's let everyone know about it too.
Oh, he's in for a bag today if this continues. Both forwards are actually the way it's going.
Yeah. Well, what do we consider a bag these days, Paul?
Well, I'll tell you, 4 and up's not too bad these days because most games we've had have only kicked 8 goals total.
So what we have so far, we have 4 goals for Jack Jedwab, 1 for Nathan Blair, 1 for Darcy Lockins,
Yep.
and we have 1 for Jared Scott and 3 for Dylan Jobson. So we have 4 goals for Melton and 6 goals for Romsey. So
that's not what the scoreboard shows.
At halftime, the umpires will go and correct that scoreboard, but we're trying our best, guys, to give you the correct score. We're just not exactly sure what it is at the moment. So ball's back in the centre square, waiting for the ball up. Ball goes up. Smith wins the tap down. Blair with the centre clearance. Handball out. Doesn't quite hit Walsh. Ball's turned over. Thornton Gillen sends the ball back inside 50 for Melton Centrals. But it's well marked by Corey Purcell. Takes the ball out in front and off he goes. Takes one bounce. Sends it inside 50 towards Jedwab. It's got to fall short. And Fenton there. Uncontested mark.
So Kirk Fenton's got the ball, hands it off. It's little short, dangerous kicks because they're not hitting their targets and they're putting themselves under enormous pressure. Cleared out by Underwood. Pops it up high, looking for a marking contest. But Romsey got the numbers around and they're going to switch it out wide out into this wing. Callum Sankey's got a ton of room if the ball will bounce. And it's not, and it's set up, and it's been a great turnover down there by Tomic. Kicks the ball along, looking for the big forward again. Here's another opportunity for his 4th goal.
Yeah. That's unlucky there for the Romsey defender because he was off trying to support some help. But
they had the right idea
Tomic,
to switch.
He's got the old Gary Ayres vibe about you with that.
I'm going older Tommy Alvin for me, mate.
That's past my day, Paul. So we got Dylan Jobson here.
His 4th goal. These forwards just going for a shootout.
And exactly what you said, Paul. He's leading to the side that benefits his left foot.
Every time.
So in he comes. He's got the hot bit and the skip as well. How's his jump?
No, that's no good. We've mozzed him.
I don't think he's made the distance.
Straight across goals. It's been marked by Romsey on the goal line. Or the umpire call it back? No. Chipping it out wide. Romsey are off here. They've got a little bit of room to work with. It's going to kick it long down the line. Looking down for Smith.
That's got to be a push in the back.
Yeah, the umpire's paid a free kick. So Smith's got the ball just out of the defensive 50. Looking down the wings. There's not a lot of movement for them. They're all pushing out wide. It's going to force the kick wide.
That's a poor kick in the end, isn't it? He had all that time and he's just popped it up to the middle of no one.
Do you notice in this game, and I say this with due respect to both sides, both last few weeks we've had teams brave enough to switch games. No one's switching here. They're just going down wings.
Yeah.
And that'll really hurt them later on against better teams when they need to open up. Yeah. And to open this ground up, you've got to switch.
Yep, exactly right. So the turnover was caused by Aaron Patterson getting paid, holding the ball. Ball has now been travelled along the outer wing and is on the half-forward flank for Melton Centrals. They send it inside forward 50.
Benny Tyson. Nope.
It's just all Romsey there. 3 versus none. So that's a poor inside 50 entry.
The entries have been poor. When they're being clean, they're scoring off them. They're kicking these little short, dinky kicks, Centrals, and it's turning it over all the time.
Nate Tasari, another short, dinky kick that turns the ball over Purcell's head. Ball's back in the centre square for Melton. Kick forward there by Spry.
Oh, he's taken a grab again.
Is that a mark?
Yes, he's paid it.
That Jobson, I think.
It is Jobson.
It's not on his ideal left foot side, but that's well marked though.
Geez, she's a one-man show down the forward line, isn't it?
Yeah, Jared Scott's had a bit of a quiet second part of this half, so...
This is a difficult kick for a left footer. It's up against the boundary line, so unless he can get it to curve from right to left, this is going to be a tough kick. And
the wind's at his back, blowing across the ground as well, so that'll be blowing the ball away from goal. So if he does kick this, it will be an absolute ripper.
It's a bit hard to see what sort of angle he's on from this position, but it looks tight, and he's hit the post.
That's good effort. That is a real good effort. It was off two steps as well. So
there wouldn't have been much room for him to see daylight between those goals. So he's kicked the last 2 points for the Centrals, but it is a forward shootout between him and Jack.
And it's interesting because the scoreboard has not changed, so
no,
we'll just leave that alone, I think. We'll just go with what we know. So the ball will be brought in here from Romsey into the back pocket. Short chip in. Doesn't elect to play on. There's no one there forward there. He wants a nice, clean option. Off he goes. Gets the Shepherd on the mark. Sends it outside forward. Back 50 towards Hoy. Hoy doesn't get there.
Oh, he's tried to claim the mark there. That was spry. And there we are at half-time. And we have Romsey leading.
Not exactly sure by how much.
Hang on, the umpire hasn't heard the siren. Yes, he has. No, the other umpires have called him into it. So what we can tell you is that Melton Centrals have kicked 4 goals and Romsey have kicked 6. And we still don't know the scores accurately. So here we go. So it's Romsey 38, Melton Centrals 25 at half-time. And what's an interesting game of football?
It definitely developed into a much better spectacle in that quarter.
Well, it couldn't have got much worse, let's be honest with you.
No, that's exactly right. But
the team...
exactly what you said at quarter time, the team that was brave enough to go through the middle
Yep.
was going to have the better options going forward. And when we had Jack Jedwab out by himself, or Nathan Hoy out by himself, even at the other end for Centrals, we had Dylan Jobson out by himself. It was all through coming to quick ball movement straight through the middle of the ground.
So what Romsey have to do to run away with this is just push Dylan Jobson onto his right side into the other pocket, which means putting more pressure on the ball carriers and stop them coming across to favour his left. The other thing they've got to do is be brave, and they're not. What they're doing is kicking down the line. They got to start switching the ball. Instead of doing dinky little 50s, have players brave enough to hold position, because it's like under 10's game. It's like a lot of mosquitoes just running around. That's exactly what it looks like. Centrals, this is what they want.
Yep.
They want this tight. They want the pressure on the ball carrier like that. They've got a good forward, and they've got a really good little player in Jared Scott down there with some pace as well. But what they want to do is play a tight contest and then break. Romsey have got the height, and they've probably, you can see they're a little bit better skilled. So start opening the game up. Be brave and start switching.
Exactly right. And you could see there, about halfway through that second quarter, Sherman made the move of taking Raymond off Jobson and put Kane Brinkhouse onto him. Bit more of a stronger body, bit more of a more agile, younger player.
Look,
and like you said, the ball, when it did get down there, was under pressure in those last 2 entries. So
Jobson's a really, really good footballer. But he's a little bit one-dimensional. He goes to pushes that right, that flank all the time to favour his left foot. He's a good mark. He leads well. Just stop the ball getting to him.
Yeah.
And force them to kick it that way. Push them over that side of the ground. But when it turns over, stop kicking down the line. Start coming across the ground and open it up for yourself. Because they've got the speed. They've got the height. Start using it.
We'll get these guys go, have their halftime break. We'll have a little break ourselves, and we'll be back shortly for the third quarter and see how Romsey and Melton Centrals begin the second half.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to the second half here at Arnold's Creek Reserve between Romsey and Melton Centrals. And this is the Darren Weevil Cup that they'll be playing for today. Darren Weevil was one of the key founding members to get this club up and running.
He was the key founding member. I remember playing against Darren when Melton Centrals first started. So he's done his legacy. He's left an enormous legacy here, and the club's in good nick. So just so we've got the scoreboard up and going. So it actually is Romsey leading 6 goals, 2-38 to Melton Central's 4-1-25. And they're right in it, Centrals here. They're right in it. The big key forwards, both of them have been dominating this game. So the second half, how do you see it going, Tone?
I think that if Melton can keep this pressure up, I think that's going to maintain a scrappy game, because Romsey have not found a way to break this pressure from Melton. So I think, and that's all credit to Melton, because they have just been on from the minute the ball bounced. So if Melton can keep that pressure up, I don't see it being more than a couple goals either way at the end. But if they fall away, and it's going to give these Romsey players to some space to clear, and Jedwab is just on fire. Hoy was down there as well. There's a lot of marking targets, and as we've said over the last few weeks, Paul, you don't get smaller as the game gets on, do you?
No, and they need to find a solution to the Hoy scenario when he goes forward. And even, I think who's the other ruckman? Evans, is it?
Smith.
Smith for Romsey when he goes forward too. They're just too big. The Romsey aren't being real smart when they bring the ball in either. So, but the opportunities they have, and I'll be honest, I still can't work out what Nathan Hoy was trying to do with that attempted screamer when the leg went up in the air and everything else stayed on the ground.
It was like he was trying to do a groin stretch without moving. So
really, in hindsight, that's a free kick against him.
It should have been, yes, 100%. And really, it's sort of a bit of a brain fade from someone like Nathan Hoy as well.
And he's got his hands on a couple. Melton Central's wanted themselves a little bit lucky that he dropped a couple of marks, because they start sticking in the second half. This could be a little bit ugly towards the end. But Centrals themselves, their pressure is enormous. I mean, they just keep going and they tackling numbers, but they're just not clean with their disposals. There's a lot of turnover, and if it wasn't for Dylan Jobson up forward, they wouldn't have a lot of attack into the forward line. So it's going to be an interesting second half. As we say, Romsey are 6-2-38. Central's a 4-1-25 in the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. We better mention the sponsors, not ours, but the league's. As the players make their way for the second half, Romsey kicking right a screen.
And we have mentioned the big fellas up forward kicking goals for either Centrals and Romsey, but look, like Kirk Fenton, he's an undersized key defender. Doing he's doing as good a job as you can expect from someone like that against Jedwab. Like Jedwab is elite in this league, and Kirk Fenton, he is trying his hardest out there. And the same as with the Romsey defenders, Kane Brinkhouse, he's not key position size, but they're doing their absolute best against these big power forwards that are very good in this league. So
one player in the first half that gave Romsey with the difference was young Jared Scott, the number 4 for Melton Centrals. He did drop off a little bit in that second quarter. I think they found a player with just equal amount of paces in Luke Newham on him, but it'd be interesting. But anyway, we're going to let our Golden Tonsils go first off. The Romsey King himself, calling his home club, very biased, but he's doing his best to try not to be.
Umpire Darmanin throws the ball up in the air. Hoy wins this tap out down. Tapped forward again by Blair. Burkhead on the run. Great hit on Adam Tomic there. That's strong, hard football. Ball bounces around. Ball comes out to the clear. And Tomic has stood back up. He should have taken the hand for Melton Centrals, but he's hit the ball on. Ball is still bouncing around in the centre square. Seems to have found some space, and it's a high tackle there to Nathan Blair. The captain for Romsey will have the ball at centre half back.
So Blair's got the ball. We'll have in a minute when it's returned to him. Now he needs to go wide here and create some options. 21 sitting out there wide, and that's Tassari, and he should be looking at it, but he's gone down the middle, another scrappy kick. Their entrance is deplorable sometimes, but Romsey by hand have picked it up. They've got the numbers out there for Purcell. Left footer looking down towards that's a good grab. That is a good grab. We're trying to pick up what number that is out there. That's Jack Slavic who's got the ball. Slavic just plays on, comes back to him, pops it high left foot looking for Jedwab. Balls gets punched away from him. Centrals have got the numbers. It's going to be pushed out and looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Forward pocket down Romsey into the ground.
Slavic sort of undone his good work there with that mark. He gave a handball off to Nathan Blair, who was standing still, who gave it back to him, and he just kicked the ball straight up and down the chimney. So,
yep.
Sherman won't be happy with that. That's not very smart football at all.
Umpire throws it back in. Centrals get the tap down, but Romsey got the numbers there, forcing the ball forward. Got the numbers again, his Centrals. Here they go. And it's a quick snap on goal, and I think he's got it. We'll just try and pick up who that is as we wait for him to turn around. Is that Peavy?
No, I think it's young Walsh. Peavy's off with his hand injury, so I think it's Walsh that's kicked that.
We'll find out in a minute.
Was that Walsh?
It's a long way down for us. We'll give it to Walsh anyway. Yeah. We'll put it down, we'll circle around. We'll find that out when we watch the replay on it. Yeah, so it takes Melton out to 7-2. They're starting to kick away a little bit here.
Yeah, Melton tried to work the ball out by hands there, but Walsh was, we think it was Walsh, has come through just and pickpocketed them all. So that's a great start for Romsey. So we just wait for the umpire to ball the ball back up here in the centre. Hoy and Donahue to contest this one out.
Hoy again.
Yeah, neutral sort of. It just went up and down again. Blair's been taken to the ground without the ball. Ball bounces around. Blair's back on top of it. Well, that's almost in the back against Blair. But the umpire will have that.
Gee, they're not paying him many free kicks, are
they?
Yeah,
you know, that's almost I thought they didn't give the one against Blair because they didn't give the one to Blair. So they sort of evened it out there. So Hoy, uncontested, hits the ball over the back, but sharked by Melton Centrals. Ball set inside field, 50 for Melton. Romsey trying to work it out. Kinnear gives it off to Brinkhouse, gives the handball off to Tassari. Tassari chips the ball over the top, looking for Khalil, who takes the mark on centre wing. He plays on down the line to Burkett. Burkett chips it over the top. He's kicked the ball up in the air. Looking for Lockins. Lockins contested the ball, kept his feet, gives the handball off to Blair. Back to Lockins, and the ball has been called out of bounds on the half-forward flank for Romsey.
Not sure if the Romsey players thought that was out of bounds.
I don't think any player ever thinks it's out of bounds when they're free, do they?
They're off and running too, and that's what they've got to start doing. Umpires throws it in, gives it a fair hoist in the air. Hoy tried to get it down, but Melton Central's got it. Ruckman's cleared it himself. Ball bounces, is just a scrap, and he's tapped it out. It's gone out towards Donahue. It's down on the ground, so... And that's absolutely going nowhere. The sun in our eyes, so we can't see much at all. Hoy versus... Hoy taps it over the back, comes down to Patterson. Patterson on his right foot kicks it out wide, and Romsey have taken the mark. Went to play on then is Blair. Blair on his right foot kicks in, looking for a good hit, and a good hit on DeHaas, is it? How you pronounce it?
Yeah, that's it. And he was the goal kicker before, sorry, not Walsh.
DeHaas pops up looking for... there's a free kick being picked out here, and it is going to Romsey, and that is Jack Jebwabs who's going to get the free kick in the orange boots. And this is in his range. And this is what he gets paid for. And this will be Jack going for his 5th goal. So Jebwab, he's probably about 35 metres out. 45?
He's probably got a 35-metre run-up too. It's a long run-up there for Jedwab.
He's gone to the Ben Brown School of Goal Kicking. If it was me, I'd be running out of puff running in.
Or do you reckon he wants a bit more screen time?
Well, with those boots, mate, so he's on a good sponsorship deal. Coming in, it's a good, nice, straight, simple goal-kicking approach, and kicks it straight out on the full.
I think he may have been puffed out by that run-up then. That was a long run-up, and there was...
No, we cursed him. We were putting him down for 5. I was about to scribble it in.
So the ball will be kicked back in here by Melton Centrals in the right forward pocket for Romsey. We're just waiting for the ball to be returned from the crowd. So it'll be brought back in by Spry. Kicks it towards the 50. That's marked there by Tomic, the Gary Ayres lookalike.
Tomic with the ball, looking for the leads. Scott is offered one long deep, but it's going to be pushed out, and he's just kicked it straight out in the full. So the free kick to Romsey. It's going to Nathan Blair, the captain. No, it's not. It's actually Purcell. Sorry. Purcell pops it up to a marking contest. Ball hits the deck. Romsey got the numbers. He just scoops it out to Hoy. Hoy on his right foot centres the ball, and it's been a good mark down there. Nice and kept nice and low. And that's Walsh, we think, this time have we got it. Yes, it is Walsh.
I reckon Steve Smith would have been happy with that catching in slips there.
It was. He took that at grass height. So Walsh, similar position to where Jack Jedwab had a crack before. So Walsh is coming in. It's about 45, on the 45 angle, about 30 metres out. Pops it up. And they're all running over. That's an indication he's kicked it. So that's Walsh's first goal. And they're starting to open this up a little bit, the Redbacks.
So Romsey now out to 8-2-48, 8-2-6-50 to 4-1-25. Yeah, this has been exactly the quarter that Sherman would have asked for from the boys in the break.
They've opened it up. And some good play from their best players like Hoy. That was a good.
Yeah.
You know, for Ruckman to be able to hit a target like that before. They're playing in front. Here comes the wind.
Yeah, and also that turnover from Adam Tomic here, that was an unrewarded running to young Jared Scott, who made a 55-metre, 60-metre lead, and to kick the ball out in the full like that with no pressure on is just poor.
Hoy just pops it over the back, but Central's going to have a clear out here. Kicks it along out of the middle, looking for a target, a sloppy kick into the forward line, but Romsey are just going to punch it forward, trying to get out of there is Purcell, and the umpire's going to come and ball it up. It's about 35 metres out from the Melton Central's goal. They're kicking to your left of screen or the clubroom ends of the ground. They had a great opportunity then, just bad delivery going into the forward line.
Yeah,
throws it up, Hoy and hits the ground. Comes out, Centrals are just standing there. They're not wanting to go in for the footy. Here they go, they've got an opportunity now, and he's been taken off the ball. That's got to be free kick, but it didn't get paid.
Purcell versus Tomic here. Patterson's helped out Purcell this way, that way. It's a rocket handball out to Raymond, who misses the target, and the ball has got out right in front of us here, in front of Luke Newnham. So the ball will be thrown in, half-forward flank for Melton Centrals.
Off we go. Ruckman come in. They've worked this out now to come nice and close to the boundary. Umpire just throws it virtually straight up now. They've got to work forward. Tapped over the back by Centrals, but Romsey got the ball. He's gang tackled. We're going to be throwing it all up again.
So ball will be thrown up. Smith versus Donahue. Donahue wins the tap out there and follows it up with his own clearance. He's done that a few times today. Ball's picked up by Smith. And he's thrown off the ball.
There's a free kick coming in. No, it's going out Romsey's way.
Yeah, Smith was dumped by Donahue after he got rid of the ball here.
He's worked hard, Donahue.
So Smith will have it, half-back flank. Looks inside, chips up to Nathan Blair. Nathan Blair, this way, that way. Gives the handball off to Purcell. Purcell runs through the middle. That's a shit and burner, but it's off to Daniel.
Now they're running.
Daniel Patterson off to Raymond. Raymond out to Matty Burkett. Wheels around on his left foot, looking for Hoy. Hoy goes up. No, he's dropped the mark there. Purcell has followed his work down from the back pocket on his left foot. Ball's just bounced just in front of that Romsey player there in the forward pocket. Ball's bouncing around. Ball's handballed out this way, that way. On the left.
Missed it.
And he's missed everything, I believe. Yeah, he's out of bounds on the full right forward pocket for Romsey.
Oh, they can just count their lucky stars that Nathan Hoy hasn't got Grippo on today, because he's dropped a couple of marks he should have taken for the big fella. Central's going, they're going to kick across goal, and they're going to switch the play. Armitstead's got the ball. Just going to kick down the line, playing good, safe football. Romsey got the numbers. They went up against each other, but they crumb it well, and they're going to be driven back down to the forward line. Looking for Hoy again, and this time the sticky fingers are stuck.
It was only a matter of time, wasn't it, Paul?
He's not going to get any shorter, that's for sure.
And they got to keep kicking it to his advantage. Like he's a good foot taller than the next person out there. So kick it up high and let him go for it.
So he needs to finish this off. They've been looking for him, and he's been a really good. Like him and Jack have been creating all sorts of dramas down there. So Nathan Hoy does need to finish this, and Ruckman are never known as great kicks.
It's a long way out. He'd be kicking from near on 50, I believe.
There's not a breath of wind, so it should be easy kick, and he's got lent back, and he's missed it to the left. So that takes Romsey to 8 goals, 3-51, leading Melton Central's 4-1-25 on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
And again, just can't quite finish off there Hoy's hard work. But
no.
You know, by the time he puts those big arms up in the air, he's 8 foot tall.
He's going to have a day where they're going to stick and he's going to kick straight, and he's going to create a nightmare. And we've seen him do that in the past.
Yeah, in the past. Yeah, he's come runner-up in the Bowen medal before, so we know the quality of the player. The ball's been kicked out by Melton Central. It hasn't hit the target. The ball's bouncing around. Turnover. Darcy Lockins gets the ball, handballs it out.
Oh, he's gone. No, the umpire's going to throw it up.
So it'll be a ball up, half-forward flank, right half-forward flank for Romsey.
Umpire tosses it up. Oh, over the top with Nathan Blair trying to get an easy one. Ball gets pushed along the ground. Central's got hold of it here, and he's been dumped into the turf. And that was Thornton Glen Gillian, is it? Thornton Gillian?
Yeah, he was one of their prime movers in the round 1 game that we watched, and it's been a little bit quiet since the first quarter. Started off well. Ball's been taken clearly out of the ruck there by Donahue, kicks it forward, and it's gone about 15 metres, and it's out of bounds.
They need to clean up around the football a bit, Melton Central. They're getting flogged around the contest at the moment.
Yeah,
The stoppage.
Donahue is trying his hardest, but I don't think he hasn't had a lot of help lately.
No.
So ball's thrown in, another short throw in. Donahue wins the tap out down, gets his own clearance. Ball bounces around. Armistead gives it a tap forward, along to Spry, kicks it off short, and Jared Scott again was out on his own.
No, the umpire hasn't seen. He was a bit too far back. Good foot out, but that's okay.
That's all right. We'll give the young fella a crack there. So let's hope he comes in a little bit more. Obviously, he needs to give this a nice big heave. He's come in 5-6 metres here, so hopefully this is all right. Nathan Blair's going to be Aiden Smith's going to be in the ruck versus Donahue again. That's a nice big throw in by the young fella. The ball's out the back towards Newton, but it's Shark there by Charge. Charge kicks it forward, and that's spoiled well there by Jax Kinnear. Tasari taken without the ball. Brinkhouse spins out, but loses control. Mitch Adamson's there. Purtzell's here. Melton Central's just pushing the ball forward, and it's a good clearing kick there by Jax Kinnear. Marked there by Shorty Patterson. Patterson kicks the ball straight in the centre. That's a great kick. Look, as move forward, and all on his own is Lockins. Darcy Lockins. He's hit the post.
Yeah, Jebob over the top too, and he could have called him forward and gone in a bit further.
It was great play there by Romsey. He's just not quite finished off.
Yeah. So Central's play on from full-back, kick it out, and they've gone deep into the pocket, kicking down along the outer flank. With the mark, plays on by hand. Drives the ball long down into the forward line, looking for a mark, puts his hands dead smack in the middle of their back, pushing the ball along. Now there's a bit of an opportunity out there, but the umpire has...
That's a free kick against Purtzell after the ball goes forward towards Jobson. Well spoiled there by Brinkhouse. Goes again with a second effort. Well done, Brinkhouse. And another tap on, trying to clear the area. Newnham gets some help. Off to Walsh. Walsh kicks out on the outer wing. All by himself there is Lockins. Lockins, this time, goes towards Jedwab over his head. Ball is trickling out in front of Sproul. Can he keep it in? Yes, he does. Jedwab's on him. Jedwab, what a tackle. That's great pressure from the big fella. And it's been rewarded too. Well done, Jedwab. Who goes in short and finds...
the captain, Nathan Blair.
That's a bit of brownie points, you reckon, giving his captain a goal there?
Always, but he doesn't need them. But look, the quick switch, open out. They're starting to run. They're working it out. Unfortunately, Melton Central's gone, but they're just playing that once. They're too slow. They're bombing. Yeah,
Darcy Lockins there. He's causing a bit of trouble in this quarter. He's finding space. And Jedwab, well, how's the pressure from the big fella? Nathan Blair goes, bang.
That's his second goal.
That's a captain's goal if you've ever seen one. But that can come down here. Brinkhouse against Jobson. Undersized, great spoil over the back, kept the ball moving forward, and off it went. Newnham, then off to Kinnear, through the middle. Lockins, bang.
And that's what they'll be looking for.
Yeah.
End-to-end goal.
And I think Sherman will be happy with that. That's their young players that connected there. Brinkhouse is only in early 20s. Lockins, it's only his second game of senior football. Jedwab's not old, but...
So if you're Melton Central's coach, you're going to have to do something now because this is starting to get out of hand a little bit. So what would you do? Jobson's sitting too deep. Bring Jobson up, or play him up around the 50 arc so he can kick a ball for 50. Yep. So start pushing him up. He's their best forward. Yep. Give him the opportunity because they're coming, but they're just sloppy with their disposals. I would also get young Jared Scott back into the game. Put him in the midfield. Well, absolutely. Put him up on a wing. Left foot was lethal, so I'd get him back involved, but the ball's thrown up there. Smith versus Donahue. Smith wins that tap out down to Blair, who just kicked the last goal. Triples it, ball's forward. Ball's bouncing around. Up in the air, Melton Centrals have got the ball out towards Charge. Gives the handball out. Thornton Gill, that's a shank. That just kills them every time they go forward. Luckily they were able to pick up the loose ball here. Send him forward towards Jobson. Brinkhouse versus Jobson. Dylan Jobson, too strong. And on his favoured left side too. So this is a real opportunity for Centrals here. Dobson, he's going for his fourth. Going for his fourth goal. When he's one-on-one, he's too strong. Yeah, it's too strong there for Kane. So that's all right. Brinkhouse, he'll learn from that, but that's all right. But look, one-on-one, he's leading out to his preferred side. So in he comes. Nice spin the ball, yes. Very deliberate. And this is where he kicked the last one in the first quarter. Oh, and that is a shank. That's come off his shin, I think. Ball's hit the deck. It's come out. Central's going to have the numbers here, but they're going to kick into... Oh, nice little balk by Spry. Runs into an open goal, and that's a great goal. Jared Spry, take a hat off there, mate. That was fantastic. The balk That was a bit of show ponying. It was lovely.
That's goal of the day there. He had young Jackson Kinnear. He had him in all sorts. He had what the basketball say. That's broken ankles right there. He had him going this way, that way. But they needed something out of that. They got something out of that because Jobson's kick was an absolute shocker.
Well, he's got the Sharon imprint on his shin because that's what it came off.
Yeah.
Yes, it happens to everybody, so you give him a little bit of slack. So that's Melton Central certainly need that one. That's their 5th goal, and they really did need that one.
So Romsey now leading 9-4-58 to 5-1-31.
Umpire with the ball, tosses it up. Ruckman go up. Romsey win the contest, but Central's are going to clear it. On his left foot, just bangs it high in the air. We've got a one-on-one coming out here. Ball hits the deck. The Redbacks have got it, throws it over. Oh, there's a good contest here. And he's dropped the ball, unfortunately. It's going to be bringing it back into contest. Central's in the left-hand handball into the middle of the ground. Here they go. There's hold on there. This is a great opportunity for Central's here. That's through young Jake Charge. Charge was spun around in the tackle. We're going to have a ball up here about 35, 40 metres out from Central's goal.
Nice strong tackle there from Mitch Adamson from Romsey. Ball's up. One down by Donahue. Out the back. They got the players out wide here, but young Scott could not pick that up. Well done, Newnham, who runs back, picks the ball up. Melton's been awarded a free kick there. He played for it. I thought he got away with it, but no. He's got it. So that'll go to Evan Donahue, the ruckman.
He's worked tirelessly. He deserves the goal. Yeah. He's been one out all day.
Poor Raymond there. He's just they've been sucked into falling into his back there. So Donahue will go back from 45.
Big ruckman shooting for goal. Never put your money on him.
I'm leaving this in your hands here, Paul.
Oh dear. The ruckman comes in, big Evan Donahue. Very deliberate approach. Oh, it's not a good looking kick, and he's going to kick it short, but Dobson has gone short. He knew that was a good pass. That
was extremely poor by the Romsey defence there to allow him to take an uncontested mark in the right forward pocket.
They were all on the line thinking he's going to kick a point or a goal and has dropped short, and Dobson knew. So here we go with the AFL style around the corner. 2 steps in and around he shoots. Oh, he's kicked it. I think he's dobbed it.
He's gone to the crowd. The crowd loved it.
The crowd loved it, and he's kicked it, and that's his 4th.
So the shootout between the big key forwards continues.
4 all. So
that Melton are now 6-1-37, trailing Romsey 9-4-58.
Good play. Good shot.
Besides the poor defending, what do you say about that, Paul?
Well,
again, something out of nothing.
Really, to get some leadership down there would have said, come and drop short just in case. I mean, it is a ruckman kicking after all. So, but realistically, they just stood on the line expecting it to be a score. They were just asleep.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. Jobson stayed engaged in the contest, and young Kinnear and Brinkhouse unfortunately didn't.
So the ruckman, Donahue, going up against Hoy. Oh, it's a bit of a neutral one. The ball just goes up in the air and they just gang tackle the Romsey player down on the ground, and the umpire's going to do it all again in the middle of the ground. Repeat stoppages. Up it goes. Donahue hits it down on the ground. Oh, it's a gang tackle again. This is pressure right here.
The tackle stats will be right up today.
Stoppage stats. There's more stoppages than anything else so far. We do it all again. Both ruckmen go up. Hoy hits it down. Romsey got an opportunity to clear it. Off by hands. Oh, he's tried to take them all on. Now there's a bit of pressure on the ball carrier, and that's it, Tasari. Tasari's going to pop it up high into the middle. Looking down there for... We haven't got one. Ali with the ball. Goes across the ground, always kicking out that side of the ground. I'm not 100% sure why, and maybe that's why, because Adamson's got the ball, drives along looking for the big forward in Jedwab, and he's got it.
He wasn't going to let Jobson get in front of him too quickly, was he?
No. So the shootout continues between the 2 big forwards. Jedwab's going for his 5th goal.
What do you think of Ali Khalil's dangerous kick to switch there? It worked out, but Adamson's mark was strong.
Was.
I don't know if I would have chose that option, but it's worked out, so good on him.
Unpredictable football is good football.
Let's change the angle and left it open for Jedwab here as he walks in. Much shorter run up this time. Straight in front, about 40 out. And Jedwab has put it straight over the goal umpire's hat. The goal umpire did not move then.
That's 5 to Jack.
So Romsey now respond to Dylan Jobson's last goal.
He would have to be leading the goal kicking in the league, wouldn't he?
I would think so now. Yeah, we had the Romsey had the bye round 2, so they one game down, but
he's a beautiful kick.
10-4, 64. Romsey leading Melton Central 6-1, 37. Accurate goal kicking so far today.
It has been. There's some shocking...
Field kicking hasn't been great, but...
No, but they have been shooting the goals pretty well. So Central's going to need a reply here just to keep themselves in range or reach of Romsey. It's a fear that could blow out.
Yes.
So if Romsey kick the next one or two, this could get a little bit ugly in the last quarter unless Centrals can come up with something.
Let's watch for Dean Walsh here running through the stoppies. There's no one on him.
Yeah, so Donahue and Hoy again.
And he's on Hoy's side. Hoy likes to tap to the left.
Yep.
The movement's on.
Hoy just taps it out wide. You're right. They've gone for a look, but they've got the
and there
numbers.
is Walsh.
He ran over the ball. It's out to Scott, but it's come back out down to Rogers. The ball's a shocking kick out. Gee, they've turned it over a bit. Arley's got the ball, hands it back into the middle of the ground, and here goes Romsey this time through Raymond, kicking, looking for another target down there. Is that the captain down there? On the left foot into the middle of the ground, and oops, he's taken the grab. Yes, he has. The umpire's going to pay it.
Oh, young Shorty Patterson, very lucky there. Double grab something pretty easy. So in comes the younger Patterson of the two, both wearing long sleeves. Doesn't make it too easy for us to pick him up. Shorty Patterson.
Okay,
even though he's taller than his brother, that's all right. But his nickname's always been Shorty. So in comes Daniel Patterson.
Go with Shorty.
Shorty, and he has shanked it too. That's come straight off the right.
No, he's putting.
Purtzell on the line, can't quite take the mark, and has trickled over for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for Romsey.
A good pass, not.
Purtzell was alert to it.
Boundary umpire's going to throw it in. Eventually. Up high. Hoy again. Pat hits the deck. Romsey got the numbers. They've just got to try and clear it. But here we go. They just throw it over the heads of Melton Central boys. Oh, that's a high tackle, is it? No, the umpire's going to come in. And we're going to ball it up again. Every time I seem to have the microphone, it's a stoppage. I'm getting them all day at the moment.
You used to got to call in the ruck contest, Paul.
Oh, Hoy again. Up he goes, just taps it forward. No one's advantage, really. This is just a scrap. There'll be 20 players around this football. Up in the air, and the Centrals have got it. They're going to kick it out to the middle of no one. That's a great mark by the captain, Nathan Blair. Blair with a footy. He's going to look to put it into the hot spot, give Jeb Bob an opportunity. He's setting himself for it. The ball hits the deck. Centrals, the ball just hits the ground. Jeb Bob tried to kick it off the ground. It's just a mongrel clearing kick out by the Centrals, and it's been taken by DePetro. Hang on, the umpire's going to come back with a free kick here. It's going to the Tommy Elvin lookalike. That's Tomic.
And it's right back on the goal square there for Romsey. So this is going to put them in pressure here. So Tomic runs outside on the left boot. Looking outside, he's got three players here. And it's spilt by Melton Central, but they've managed to work out with the extra numbers. That's an awkward left foot kick by Melton Central's player.
That's our mate Tommy, it was.
Oh, Tommy. Oh, and he gets it back, so he's followed up, and no, he's not going to. Yes, there's a bit of foot candy on the right. Turn it around. Brinkhouse versus Jobson. Brinkhouse kept the body in front, and the ball had been wrapped up here.
Good pressure by all the players then.
Mitch Adamson's held the ball in. Ball be thrown up right on the 50. Raymond versus Jobson. Bit of size disadvantage there. Cleared out by Dean Walsh. Ball hits the centre wing. Bounces towards Khalil. Khalil has Gary Ayres in a headlock. Umpires let it go. Ball will be thrown up here. Melton Central side of centre wing.
So one of the Romsey boys is going to make a sprint out to the open flank at the moment. He had him by the hand. He just kicked it out of the air. Oh, there's a free kick flipped up in the air there. The captain, Blair, tried to go through. They're just all scruffling and fighting for it at the moment. Armstead tried to get it. Now, umpire's going to ball up. We're only about right in front of us. The ball's about a foot into the boundary line. And that was Connor Charge who's returned the ball, umpire, and he's been having a good game himself. Umpire throws it up. Tapped out wide by Fenton. Ball hits the deck and it comes out through Walsh. And the umpire, they're trying to claim it's out in the full, but the umpire's going to throw it up. And a little bit of Jacob Sinclair's letting the Romsey boys, Walshy, know what's going on. There's a 3-quarter. That seemed like a very short quarter, mate.
Yes, it's very. I thought the quarter time break was longer than that quarter.
So Romsey lead, 10 goals, 464 to Melton Central, 6-1. Nice accurate kick in 37. Goal kickers so far. Nathan Blair's got 2. Darcy Lockins has 1. Jack Jebob has 5. Joel DeHuss has 1. Dean Walsh has 1. For Centrals, Jared Spry has one, Jared Scott has one, and 4 goals to their main forward, Dylan Johnson.
What do you make of that quarter, Paul?
Better than the first one.
Yeah, I think that's much more of how Romsey wanted to play the game from the first bounce. And
they opened up.
We did say that it depended on the pressure if Melton were able to continue to apply, and it did fall off in that second half so far.
Look, it opened up, and look, the big players for Romsey are starting to have a little bit of effect. I mean, the poor ruckman Evan Donahue was just one out, and it's hard yards for him, and he's trying his absolute best. The problem is there's actually no structure for them around the fall of the ball. It's a real scrap. And they seem to attract 2 or 3 players into a contest, and then Romsey just flip it out. There's just so many large packs of players here that both sides have got to start just realising you just got to open this up a little bit more. Romsey did it really well. As soon as they opened up, they were gone. Melton Centrals did it and kicked a goal out of with open footy. It's about players having a bit of forward thinking and a little bit of bravery. Like we've said over before, and it was only just before the siren blew, if a Romsey player had the courage, he would push out onto the far wing to get out and be by himself. So if there's a switch of play, and just so every Romsey player or Melton Central player, whoever it is, know that there's a player out wide that they can go, then they can start getting it out there and pushing it one-on-one and open the game up. As soon as it opened up, Romsey looked really good.
Yeah, back on Evan Donahue, he's probably been their best midfielder as well this game. The amount of clearances he has out of his own ruck.
Well, he's doing what
Geordie Dyer from Macedon.
No, I wouldn't go. I was thinking AFL level, more like it. No, the big Hawkins and all them. He just takes the ball out of the ruck himself because he's got the power to do it. But then he's just not doing a good kick. It's just a scruffy kick out of there. He might be better off. And it's obviously a communication problem with their midfielders. They're sloppy with the ball. They get the ball and they turn it over, and so many times going forward with poor kicks, and that's whether it's skill level or pressure. I mean, only their coach will know that. I mean, Romsey aren't putting an enormous amount of pressure on the ball. It's, there's a lot, but it's not earth shattering. So it's probably more a skill set because even players coming out, they're trying to do these pinpoint little 4-foot high bullet passes. They're better off going up by hand and carrying it by hand. There hasn't been a lot of ball carried by handball. Yeah. There's a lot of they're all trying to kick the ball, these 40-metre kicks, 30-metre kicks to stationary targets. That's the AFL's fault.
Yep.
That's what they do there. The skill level's a little different. So, but when it does work, it looks beautiful. But gee, it causes a lot of pain too for us when it doesn't work.
And when it did work for Romsey, especially at the start of that third quarter there, Darcy Lockins out the back 3 or 4 times. He was out the back there because he had that courage to switch out wide or to not get drawn towards the ball where his opponent did.
I think you called it too in the middle there with Dean Walsh. You said he's unmanned in the middle. I mean, they did man him up. You can see what he was going to do. He's just going to come through. Now, remember a couple of weeks ago when we watched Dylan Tarkson? Dylan Tarkson would start on the defensive side of the ruck contest and just charge through. Whilst he's got the same size, he can do that.
Yep.
And probably needs to a little bit more. And he's got such a ruck advantage with the big ruckman you got. I'm calling you in the Romsey crew, that they can tap it to his advantage to make it work.
Yeah, it was that clearance was all set perfectly for Walsh to do exactly what we called it. Just the ball just didn't quite sit for him. But the Romsey midfielders, they got on top in that quarter, and Jack Shedwab is just doing what Jack Shedwab does, isn't he? So
he did, and both forwards have been every opportunity they got. I mean, let's be honest.
Besides Jobson's one off his shin,
he did shin that beautifully. They could add more opportunity here, but look, Romsey is starting to show their authority now and probably will kick away with this.
Yeah, I think so. Well, what I said, 3.5, 4 goals at the start of the game. I'm going to stick with that because I don't think the floodgates, I don't think are going to open just because I don't think it's been that quality of a game for floodgates to open.
But look, I can't even see the scoreboard here. Whether they kick 10, 14 will see this out, I think.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
They'll probably win by 6 or 7 goals.
Yeah, Nathan Blair had a bit of influence in that quarter as well, so he'd be happy.
Yeah, 2 goals from the captain. Leads from the front. He's tough and hard, but he's clean too.
Yep.
And that makes the difference.
Yeah. His previous VFL experience, he just brings that to this club as well. And
Kane Brinkhouse in defence has been terrific as well for him. I mean, he's fighting against Dylan Jobson, and that's he's undersized.
There was that one occasion where he just got outmarked because of the size disadvantage, but he's giving it all. Once the ball hits the ground,
he's off.
Yep.
That's what you want to see your defenders be brave enough to run off their forwards because they're not. Dylan Jobson's not chasing. No way is he chasing. He's just going to sit back. And that's what he's there for a quick turnover, but the turnovers have been sloppy, so he's not getting an opportunity.
And speaking of chasing from the big fellas, Jack Jedbob's tackling that quarter. That was.
It
Darcy Lockins didn't hit him exactly where he wanted to. Ball went over his back.
Yep.
But Jack never gave up on the contest, and he just wrapped him up and just caused the spillage, which led to the next goal from Dahar. So the Sherman's got to be ecstatic with that pressure from their big fella.
Yeah, no, look, it's been a good performance from Romsey. Hasn't been outstanding so far, and I'm sure they've got another gear. We're waiting for them to hit. The pressure that the young Melton Central's team's putting on everyone, I mean, I'll give them full credit for effort.
Yep.
That just their skill set's struggling a bit today, and whether that's normal, you saw them in round one. Probably there wasn't the pressure coming from the Western Rams that they're getting today.
The pressure wasn't there, and also that day was a horrible day for football out at Ian Cowrie Reserve.
Yep.
The wind was howling. It was just.
So that's normal.
Yeah, it was just a horrible day for football. But you know what? I think Justin Sherman for Romsey will be much happier than he was in the first half, but he's not going to be completely satisfied with this performance. But Romsey played round one, had the bye round two, back again round three. It's been a bit of a stop-start season for them, so whether or not they haven't got the continuity yet.
They're in practice match number 4, so you're right with the continuity.
Yeah.
And, look, they're only going to get better.
Yep.
I'm not sure who else is to come in. You'd know better than anyone. But
no, I don't think their injury toll is that big, to be honest.
So
but
we're at full power at the moment, and this is from what we've seen from the other teams in the competition, probably setting up themselves a little bit better. But who knows? Melton Central will be interested to see how other clubs go against them. They haven't been blown out by any game. Even Roland couldn't blow them away. So their pressure is maintaining. They're a pesty side who just keeps hanging around and not going away. So,
what did Romsey go down to Roland? Was it about 5 goals, I think, in round one?
Yeah, it was only a similar sort of version here for Roland and beaten Centrals last week. So, interesting last quarter coming up.
As we just wait for the fans to very, very, very slowly remove themselves from the surface.
They're casual, aren't they? Times, no rush.
No, talking about Sunday driving, this is Saturday walking. There's just no rush to get this game underway, is there?
No, not at all. Or have the day finish.
Yeah.
The worst of his umpire's boss is just dawdling off, holding up the ground, but we're not allowed to say that.
No, he's doing a great job he does.
Did umpire the second, so he's probably run out of puff.
That's when you know your boss is working hard when he's actually out here on a Saturday morning kicking the Jew off.
The speed.
What's the agility like? He's getting over the fence.
There's lightning and flames coming out of those runners.
Are you going to call the agility getting over the fence, or are you going to leave that one alone?
No, I'm not touching it.
All right, as the last of the public remove themselves from the surface, up we go with centre bounce. Donahue versus Hoy again. Ball's up. Hoy wins the tap out down. Aaron Patterson running through, gets the ball bounced the other way. Cleared out by Charge. Charge to Armiston, back to Charge. Charge looks forward. Hits the forward pocket for Melton Central's contested out. Well spoiled there by Purtzell. Brinkhouse lays a big heavy tackle on, but Melton Central have the ball out. Charge again. And that is Melton Central was pushed after he kicked. No, it hasn't been paid that. I thought it was fingerprints fair in the back, but that's a point there to Melton Central from Jared Scott. So that was on his right foot. First time we've called his name in probably about 25 minutes, I reckon.
It's a shocking kick out of defence. Gives Central the opportunity, and it's a boomerang, and that's a goal. No, he's missed it too.
Hit the post.
Gosh. That was
Jake
a terrible kick out from the Romsey players.
Yeah, and Jake Armisted's turnover kick was just as bad. No left foot from someone at this level.
Brinkhouse. Brinkhouse has kicked it down looking for Patterson. And the ball's just going to roll out of bounds, and we're going to throw it in the pocket. Boy, that was a bit of a sloppy couple of minutes of play.
Let's hope that isn't a sign for things to come for this.
No, absolutely. Umpire throws it back in. Hoy over the back. But it's won by Donahue. Out come Romsey now. They've got an opportunity by handball to try and carry it on through Blair. Blair knocked it out wide out, looking for Lockins, and it couldn't hit him. And we're going to throw it in again.
This has got signs of the first quarter written all over it again here, Paul.
No, don't do that to us.
So I'll take this throw in now because we know what happens when you have it. Another repeat stoppage. So it's thrown in. That's a good throw in there by the boundary umpire. Hoy over the back, taps it down straight front, gets his own clearance. Ball is trickling along in front of Adamson here. Matty Burkett lays a great tackle. Ball is out. DePetro has the ball. Ball continues just to be trickling along the ground. Aaron Patterson's jumped on that. They jump on top of him. He's reefed the ball out. Ball is out through Armstead. Armstead kicks the ball just away in time from Lockers, who affected the kick.
Donahue, he's just about had his head pulled off from Hoy. Donahue's going to go back. Oh, he's going to play it on. Lucky the umpire didn't play it.
I think Hoy had 3 attempts at trying to pull his head off then.
Donahue just kicks it long, looking for a marking contest. Ball hits the deck, just stacks on the mill everywhere, but Melton Central's going to get it out through an opportunity out. Back to Armistead. I'll get this right before the day is
Free
out.
kick against Blair there. Threw Armistead out when he didn't have the ball.
So Armistead's got the ball. Just kicking to packs. There's not a lot moving here. They're all run out of puff. Tosses it up without any forward movement at all. Looking for Jobson. Pops it up high. Ball hits the deck. Romsey got the crumb and just kick it out of bounds. And they're going to throw it in, or is it out of bounds on the full? It's out on the full.
Or is he played deliberate maybe? I'm not exactly sure. Couldn't see that far.
And it's
but
Jobson.
Jobson's run over to take the kick though.
It's going through his 5th, so the contest continues, and his left foot too. He kicked the last one from this type of shot.
It's gone round the body.
AFL style. Well, let's see.
In comes Jobson off 3 steps, hooks it around. He's kicked it up high. He's hooked it too far, and it's hit the narrow side for a behind. So Melton Central's 6-4-40.
We haven't seen this more in footy, that local football this round. It happens in Melbourne everywhere.
Romsey 10-4-64.
So Romsey clear the ball out, hit it out, and they've taken the mark out. Far pocket. Not a lot moving for him. He's just going to kick it down the line, play it safe, looking for the big ruckman. Goes up and takes a good one-hand, good grab. Hoys with the ball, plays on, sloppy handball, but they're going to get out of trouble with it. Kick it up in the air, looking down for Walsh. Walsh drops the mark that he should have taken and doesn't look any further. And the Central boys run it out of bounds. We're going to get it thrown in. Should have grabbed that one, Walshy.
Yeah, and he's quite upset at himself as well as he just hits his hands. So the ball will be thrown in, right forward pocket here for Romsey. Donahue, it looks like he could be going up. He's going up. No, Hoy's there. I thought he was going up. Oh, that's a poor throw in though. And Hoy takes it on his chest. Handballs out towards Walsh, who overruns the ball. And there'll be just a whole hack of players just jumping left and right. So
stacks on the mill.
So the ball will be balled up just inside the boundary line, right forward pocket. Nathan Blair, last one off the bottom of the pack.
So we're about 35 metres out from the Romsey goals. Here goes Central. They're going to clear it out this time through Charge. Charge pops it up in the air, looking down for Tommy. And it's what we're going to stick with all game. We've done it. So Connor charges with the ball, kicks it out down, looking for Underwood. Down now at the moment, it's Jared Scott, who's caused a lot of problems earlier on, and he's been absolutely poleaxed in that tackle. And Romsey going to clear the ball out, and Scott's taken a little while to get up. Kicks the ball along, looking down there for at the moment, and that is Ali, who's got the ball, just pops it up high, looking down for Lockens. Lockens one way, then the other, takes off on his right foot, looking down for Jedwab, punches the ball forward. Lockens going to get to have another shot of getting the ball. Working really hard around the contest. Good bump down there from Burkett. Ball still in play. They're all stopping, and here goes Lockens again. That's about his 3rd possession late in the last minute or so. Oh, he's played on there. There's the big young Raymond. Kicks the ball up high, looking for an opportunity, and Jedwab comes out. And that wasn't a real strong effort from Ben Tyson from Melton Central's running with the flight. I'll leave it at that.
I just want to backpedal on you calling Nathan Raymond young. I reckon he's going to love hearing that.
Oh, well, everyone's young compared to me.
No, he's a very, very good serviceman, Nathan Raymond. So Jack Jedwab lining up at his 6th, is it?
He's going for 6.
Those boots are getting even brighter.
As the sun's actually glowing off them now.
He's a big man, Jack. Look, he comes in very steadily. That's exactly what he's going for here.
Yep. Very deliberate approach. In he comes, pops it up, and he's going to not make the distance here. But the big ruckman's down there and didn't even go for it. So they just pushed it through, and Centrals are going to have an opportunity to clear it out. Centrals from deep in defence. Oh, he's looking for a short one. Kicks it out in front of us out here. Looking and taking the mark. There is Charge. Charge is going to come in early. Taking the mark there is Armstead. Jake Armstead's short kick and dangerous kick, but grabbed it then. Here's Ferrari, kick it long, or Ferry. Has the ball, and the Centrals have got an opportunity, but he's hit the deck and he's been tackled, and he's going to be hold ball. Good tackle there by, was it Corey Pertzel?
So Pertzel looks inside, kicks it off, hits the captain and Nath Blair in the centre square. He runs off, chips the ball over top looking for Raymond. Raymond spills it, thought he had it, spent it before he got it. The ball's he's gone back to Raymond, kicks on his right foot looking for Hoy. Oh, Hoy's done well with Shepherd there to protect the young. Is that Lockins or is that?
I think it was Lockins.
Who's kicked it in shot looking for Jebwob again. Both Melton players just misread that ball completely. So Jebwob's out, 35 out maybe, straight in front.
There's a little bit of sting gone out of this.
Yeah, it definitely has that way. I think the Melton boys, there's a lot of hands on knees, hunched over, trying to suck in those deep breaths. But
so Romsey 10-5-65 to Melton Central 6-4-40. Jedwab coming in for his 6th. And that's a good day in the office.
The second attempt of his 6th, so let's see this one a bit better than the first one.
Mozzed him last time. Very deliberate approach. On that trusty right boot, and he's clapping and cheering before it even went through. So that's his 6th goal, Jack Jedwab.
That's a fair day out for the big key forward, isn't it?
Put his hand out for the big paycheck. Well done. 6 goals.
So Romsey leading 11-5-71. Melton 6-4-40.
Let's be honest, both key forwards have had quite a good day.
Yep.
Just the sheer volume and cleanliness of the ball coming into the Romsey forward line makes it a bit easier for Jack than it does poor old Dobson.
And speaking of that too, looking at both the key defender for Melton Centrals here and the key defenders for Romsey, they're very undersized against these big key forwards, aren't they? So
up it goes. Yep, nice easy one without any contest then for Donahue, and he's going to get a free kick here. No, the free kick's going out to Thornton Gillian, whatever it is. On his left foot, kicks it long. Up it goes. Oh, that's a great mark by Tommy Nelly, but his ball kicked on his foot by Rogers. Rogers put it out, but Romsey have got the numbers out here in the moment, and they're just going to shuffle it along the boundary line. But Centrals have got to pick it up, turn it over down by Jared Spry, brought it back in, but Romsey are all over defence. Pick it up, kick it out wide, looking down there for Adamson. Adamson on his left foot, kicks it long, looking down there for Slavic. Slavic dropped a mark he should have taken, but he's going to play the ball in front of him. If it'll ever sit up, gets it, pops it up in the air, but he's just going to turn it over, and that wasn't great play. And they've got the numbers, and there's going to be a free kick to Melton Central's there because he's taken high.
That was clumsy there by Adamson.
It was. Central's back into the ground, and out comes Will Thornton Gillian, or whatever it is. Up and high goes, and here's an opportunity for Centrals as the ball will sit. Has got an opportunity, comes in, looking there, just pops it up, looking for the big marking contest for the forwards, and the umpire's going to pay a free kick, so we're going to come in for his 5th goal, and the contest continues.
He's called chopping the arms there on Jobson.
So Jobson's going to get the free kick. Surely he'll get this one in front. He's had a few shots in the last quarter and a half. He's done well today. He's won out.
Very limited opportunities
so this is for his 5th goal. And walks in and kicks the nice, easy 5th goal. So that takes Melton Central to 7 goals, 4, trailing Romsey 11 goals, 5.
And even after that goal there, you could see the Melton boys, they weren't up and about there. There was no real atmosphere, so I think they may have been resigned to this might be foregone conclusion, unfortunately.
Well, they're only 4 goals down.
Well, that's what I would have thought,
25 points. I mean, it's not an enormous amount, and it's quite gettable, and the petrol tank's pretty empty, but it can still be done.
And sometimes the petrol tank isn't as empty as what everyone thinks it is. You just need that little bit of a bit of spark, and off he goes. And I would have thought Jobson's 5th goal would have provided that, but there was just no atmosphere at all. So ball goes up. Hoy versus Donahue. Hoy wins this one down towards Burkett, but it's sharked there by Thornton Gillen. Trips over. Ball sits out by Ali Khalil. Kicks it forward. Ball has been smothered. Too high. Free kick to Rogers. Rogers goes out wide. So it was Underwood, goes out wide. Looking for Donahue. Ball's come down to Thornton Gillen. Handballed off from Scott back to Donahue. Kicks it in forward. Missed mark there by Tassari. But it's been taken away by Lukey Newnham. And that's a big spiral standing start. It's kicked forward. Underwood misses the marks. Running through there is Ferry. Ferry kicks forward and he's hit the target. Free kick or target, surely. Either way. Armstead handball over to Tommy. Tommy handballs off.
There's another one.
And it's another one. Now they might get up and about. Who was that, though?
That was Adam Tomic who's kicked that.
Was it?
28.
Gary Ayres. Go, you young fella. That wasn't Gary Ayres, was it?
Sorry, it might have been Dylan Jobson. Oh, no, it wasn't Jobson.
Anyway, we'll find out who it was, but it was a great goal there. But
You hardly know because no one's run up to him and patted him on the back.
And again, there's still no atmosphere. It is only 8-4-52 to 11-5-71. It's only 3 goals the difference. But there doesn't seem to be a lot of life left in Melton when they've kicked the last 2 in very quick succession. So
I actually think that might have been Spry who kicked that for them.
So ball's returned to the centre circle. Smith versus Donahue. Donahue wins the tap out down. But it'll be a repeat stoppage. Oh, too high. Ooh, that was a late call.
So this is their third lot of clear entrances into the forward. So Spry with the ball, drives it long, looking for a target. Oh, tell you what, there's a bit going on off the ball here. Romsey have got the footy. They're going to flick it around by hand, but they're going to play it brave and go across the ground. Switching the footy. That's a horrible looking kick though. Puts him under enormous pressure. Central's got an opportunity. Nice little chip kick, and there's another chance for them here. Well, we said the door that was shut, but it's...
well, we never said the door was shut, but we definitely feels like the players think the door is shut.
Big Jaron Underwood, so he's having a crack here. So this is only bring it down to about 13 points difference, and it's a whole different ball game now. Underwood coming in for his first goal for the day. Lays back and really gross it, and he's kicked it. That's a great goal. Jared Underwood.
And now we're getting some life from Melton Central.
They took their foot off the accelerator a little bit there, and Romsey, you want to sharpen up a little bit in this last couple of minutes?
Underwood has sunk the boot in that kick, though, wasn't it? That was a hoik.
So it's 13 points of difference now. So this is a ball game. So it's 9-4-58 Centrals. Melton to Romsey 11-5-71. So there's not a lot in this.
No, not exactly right. But
the last 3 goals have been to Central's way.
Ali Khalil there tried to take him on and do the switch, but the ball has come off his kneecap while it looks at run down his leg. It was a horrible kick.
We'd all but parked it, but now there's a bit of life. So off we go again. Donahue's worked absolutely tirelessly. Here they go again. Central's going forward. Oh, they're lucky not to get a free kick given to them. Then was up to Armistead. Romsey going to flick it around a bit. They're mucking around with the footy here, Romsey. Over the top, over to Charge. Charge tried to get the ball out, and he's still fighting in the bottom of the pack. And they're just going to play stacks on the mill here, and the umpire's going to come and ball it up centre wing.
So the ball will be balled up pretty much smack bang between the boundary line and the edge of the centre square here. Ball goes up. Smith versus Donahue. Smith wins that tap out down. Aaron Patterson at the back. Blair wins it. Gives the handball off.
From the ball. Well done.
Thornton Gielan's. He's gone to use the advantage there and he's turned the ball over. Luckily, it's called back here. So Armistead here. Armistead has the ball, assessing his options forward. Just going to slow it down a little bit.
Driving it back in. So they really are pressing here, Centrals. Great opportunity. Ball hits the deck. Tried to be cleared out by DeHaas. Here comes Romsey looking out down there for Lockins. Lockins gets a lot of pressure on him, and the ball's going to be... No, Lockins has been paid the free kick or the mark. Wheels around, kicking down, looking for Jedwab. Ball goes up. He's outnumbered 2-on-1 here. Good hands, and Armitage, who has actually been knocked up getting the footy today. He's had a fantastic game, hasn't he, Jake?
And Hayden Sproul happy to run that ball over there in front of Lockins. So the ball will be thrown out right here in front of us in the commentary side.
Romsey need one more just to settle down a little bit here. Ball goes up.
One down by Smith. Lockins here gets the clearance. Good pick up low, Lockins. Handball's into DeHaas. DeHaas with the chip straight forward. Hits Jedwab out. 2 strong hands. Well done, Darcy Lockins.
So Jack's going for his 7th.
Well, we can't have Jobson here coming equal, can we? So we knew he was going to fight back again, Jack, here. This is where he kicked the last one for. Well, it didn't make the distance. So look at Hoy. He's on the goal line. He's got to be paying attention here, Hoy.
They actually need this to settle him down a bit because the last 3 have gone to Melton Central. I mean, it's been a good fight back from Centrals. They got a bit of spirit. I mean, they kicked a goal. No one went up. It was very, very quiet. But after they got another one, it will start to fire off again. So Jack coming for his 7th. Very deliberate approach. He needs to kick this just to push it out a bit. He's kicked it out to the right. He hasn't made it, I don't think. Yeah, he's gone to the right.
It's the exact same position it went last time he kicked in the same
14
spot.
points the difference now. Central's nice short little kick coming to Thornton Gillian with the ball in his hand. They just need to be patient here. Don't race this through. Now they're going to push it out wide. It's come out down to Sproul. Sproul's with the ball, looking this nice high little kick. Good grab, good hands, smart football. They're going to play it on by hand. No, he didn't give it over. Fenton with the ball. kicking it long. There's been patient here. This is a very different look. Got the ball, kicks it out into the pocket, but he's just going to turn this over. That's a poor kick. Romsey with the ball. Short out to the captain. Kicks it long and high, looking for Jack again, and he's got it again. Too far out. He's probably 55 metres out.
He's working hard here, Jack.
He's going to have to find a target here. Big Hoy's made a lead and hasn't gone. Just going to kick it to the hot spot, but I think Centrals have got the height here. Big leap from some of them down to Smith trying to fight. So he's just banged it out, and that's a poor kick and a dangerous kick going out to DiPetro, but he's been tackled hard. Now umpire's going to ball it up.
Ooh, a little bit of spice there from Josh Spry, but
that's all right. 40 metres out of goal from Romsey's goal, and they need one just to settle down with to put a bit more buffer on it. Ball hits the deck out through Donahue, who's worked tirelessly all day for the Blues. Got it in his hand, and oh no, he's gone. No, and the umpire's going to pay it.
Darcy Lockins, the young fella again, well done. That was just great pressure.
He did. DeBono just had nowhere to go. He's looking up and just couldn't get it onto his foot. That's a fair kick for him here, though, young Lockins. He's probably 40 metres out. We've seen Jack Jebob and them not make the distance from here.
Yeah, his teammates have told him to go for it, so be interesting to see. You just got to hope that Romsey had the crummers here and that they're paying attention right on the goal line.
So they've got Hoy sitting out the back, and no one's even noticed him there. So he'll be coming over the top of the pack. Jebob's out onto the point post, and he lines up and leans back. He got the distance, just didn't get the accuracy, and misses to the left. So 9 goals, 458 to 11-7-73. Romsey lead.
So we had very accurate kicking earlier, and we're just starting to get a few points creep in as the game tightens up a little bit.
Tired legs.
So the ball's kicked out there and finds it in the pocket. We've got, is it Sinclair? I think it is. Sinclair looks back inside. No, kicks it down the line. Sorry, it was Underwood. That's
good grab,
big attempt.
Donahue.
No, it hasn't been paid. I thought he did take that. Tasari handballs back to Raymond. Raymond sends it back in on his left foot towards Hoy. Hoy's caught behind, and the mark's taken there by Centrals. So Centrals looking again. They're looking straight down the line where all the numbers are at the moment.
Lindsay
looking out, sends the ball back outside 50 with a bit of a helicopter-like kick. And the mark is take.
That's a free kick. You can't
mark
do that.
Or free kick, whatever it is, but it's gone to Romsey's way. And that will be, is it Aiden Smith, I believe?
That was disappointing play from the Centrals boys. Gone down with cramp now. Good grab down there by Patterson. Patterson goes around and he's just popped it up in the air, but Hoy's tried to flip it over his top, looking for Jedwab, who's down there fighting on his knees. Flips it out. Here's an opportunity. And that's through Walsh, and he's missed it again. So they're firing away. They just can't hit the target.
Yeah, that was another attempt from Benny Tyson that he's not going to be overly happy with there. He sort of ducked the heads and spilt the ball that was easy chest mark. So
the more time it spends down here, the harder it gets for Centrals, because time is against them big at the moment.
Sproul brings it in, hits to the outer side flank. Ball is taken. Great mark there by Donahue. Gives the handball off. Handball is taken there by Sinclair. Sinclair hands it down. Finds a target on centre wing. Ball comes inside, looking for Scott. But Romsey have the numbers here. It's turned over. Matty Burkett. It's all out of his own. Darcy Lockins out on his own again. He's had a huge second half, Darcy Lockins.
Lockins looking up, and there's not a lot moving for him. There's a big hole here for the forwards. Jeb Wobb's holding back. He's just going to be patient. Go across the ground.
Back to Burkett. Burkett holds at half-back flank. Burkett goes inside, finds Ali Khalil. That's a great lead.
Ali's handed it off.
Blair chips it up.
Good grab.
That's a great mark there by Slavic.
And that's in the goal. Take your time. Chew up the time on the clock and have a shot. There couldn't be long left.
There can't be long now, and Romsey have got in top in this last bit of this last quarter here. Melton had all the running, and the ball has been camped in Romsey's forward line for the last 5 minutes or so.
So they've had a few opportunities to kick a few goals this quarter, Romsey, and they've just missed. So they do need this one, even though they're home and hose. So Jack Slavic coming in. Just pops it up, and he's missed as well. That's shot out to the right. Jedwab's gone up, and it's gone right on the line, but they're going to force it through for a behind. Another rush.
Yeah, the kicking into the wind coming from this side back into the pocket, and the ball's just getting stuck in the wind.
Armisted's got the ball. He's had a title. Oh, he's kicked it into the man of the mark, and this is giving an opportunity for Nathan Blair. Blair with his hands, he's having another shot, just brings it up in the air. They need a mark. It won't be paid because it's not long enough.
Free kick, Jed Wobb. Yeah. Poor Gary Ayres there. He had no choice. He grabbed onto him because Jed Wobb was going to fly there. So,
what's he going
number
for?
7.
He's had plenty of shots.
This one of his most simple for the day. 30 out straight in front, but it is on tired legs because he's had a lot of the footy today, Jed Wobb. Romsey leading 11-9-75 to 9-4-58. There cannot be long left in this quarter.
Nope. It's actually got dark and cold here.
That's why I had to take the sunglasses off because it's got very dark for me there. In comes Jed Wobb, again with that deliberate approach. At least he has a nice goal-kicking routine that he sticks to. Sends the ball on its way, and the umpire hasn't moved. That's 7 for Jed Wobb. That's officially a day out, I would say.
That's a good day in the office.
Yeah. Well done, Jed Wobb. Well done, Romsey there to just keep the ball moving.
Look, both slow forwards. Jed Wobb is 7. Jobs for 5. It is a good day in the office. Both of them have been, key pivotal players for their side, and without them, there's a big hole to the field. Yeah. Jobson particularly, they look for him all the time. And
we do know that, yes, the midfielders get the ball down to the forwards, but these big key forwards that finish it off, they're a lot harder to find than they are the midfielders. There's a lot of good midfielders running around local football leagues. These big key forwards, they're a dime a dozen. So it will be Hoy versus Ferry in the ruck this time. Donohue's had a rest, thank God. Hoy goes up, wins it down decisively, down to Blair, who's wrapped up instantly by Connor Charge. And we'll get a repeat stoppage inside the centre square. Hoy goes up again, leans over the top, just too tall, down to Blair. Blair bobbles around, ball comes in through Patterson. It's a standing spiral. Slavic goes up. Balls come to Lockins, spun around 7:20 by Fenton, and the ball will be called for a ball up just inside the 450 for Romsey.
Umpire throws her up. Tapped down well by Smith. Kicks it out wide as the Central's play, but Romsey seem to have the numbers there in the middle of the cricket pitch. Fighting away hard is Charge. Ball comes up and the sling tackle, and wasn't too happy about it either. It was Slavic. Ball comes down again, long, looking for the big forwards. Oh, well done, young Lockins. That was brave. Straight into the corner, and he's going to get pinged on. He's going to be rewarded. That is fantastic play.
Well, the Romsey boy should get over to Darcy Lockins there because he has gone with the flight, followed it straight back up with a huge tackle.
Don't give it away. There's a great opportunity here to reward this kid for the hard work.
This is when you know the game's over, when they all start to push and shove because they know they can't do anything now about it. So go back, Darcy, and finish off your great work, mate.
Lockins with the ball.
What do you reckon he is, Paul? About 35, maybe?
Yeah, skinny, tired legs, but he's a good goal kicker. We train him well at Gisborne when we send him to you, so...
We'll take it when you do all the hard work. We'll take it when they're a finished product.
Mate, we give them premierships and then send them out.
Darcy Lockins, bang. That's a great second half from Darcy Lockins.
Well done.
He's kicked his second for the day. Well done, young fella.
The best part about that, though, was he ran with the flight of the ball into the big forwards, created the contest, and then followed up again with that tackle. That is fantastic work.
Yeah, and a thing that might not have been seen on the camera there was Jack Jed Wobb knew Darcy was there and held his player out of the contest. Very smart from the big fielder who's kicked 7, had all right to go for the ball, but he's looked out for his teammate there and he protected him.
He's going to create some problems this year, young Darcy Lockins up forward.
Yeah, he's created a few problems for Hayden Sprout today. So ball goes up. Hoy versus Fenton. Fenton wins that one down, but it's Matty Burkett comes through the centre. Ball is pushed out there by Sinclair. Oh, it's around the shoulder, surely. No, umpire's called play on.
Hayden Payne. Hayden, sorry. With the ball, brings it in. There's a chance here for Centrals now. They've got the run of the ball, run of the flight, but Romsey got the numbers there at the moment. Centrals underneath with the footy, trying to create something. It's just going to be stacks on the middle. You can see the umpire going to throw this up. There just can't be long left. We must be down to just about a minute or so.
Yeah, they can't be long, surely. So
you can see it when the timekeepers start packing up. That 30 seconds left.
Romsey leading 13-9-87.
That's the quickest 30 seconds in history, but thank you.
It's a 9-4-58. in the end, it's a good win from Romsey there, but Melton Central's fought back hard, very hard in that last quarter, early that last quarter.
You say some games are a bit uninspiring because they're just a slog. This was a slog.
Yeah.
And it was a slog for all of us, commentary box as well. But go through the goal kickers. I mean, we got Nathan Blair, he kicked 2. Darcy Lockins, what a great second half. He had 2 goals as well. Jack Jebob, 7. Yeah. That's a good day out in the office. Joel DeHaas with 1. Dean Walsh has got 1 too. Better players for Romsey. I circled them what I thought.
Yep.
I could be completely wrong, but you can't go past Jack for BOG for 7 goals. Absolutely. Darcy Lockins, Nathan Blair, and Aidan Smith in his work in the ruck was sensational as well.
Yep.
Over the other side of the ledger, we shoot over to Melton Centrals. We've got 1 goal kicker. We don't know who it is, so we do apologise to everybody there. Jared Spry's got 1. Jared Scott with 1. Jared Underwood with 1, and 5 goals to Dylan Jobson, who for us was their best player. Sorry, I'll take that back. Evan Donoghue in the ruck was their best player. He just was tireless. Dobson made the best of every opportunity he had coming through it all. Jake Armistead was really, really good as well. It's a bit hard to find any other players for them because they all sort of just did their job without doing it spectacularly.
Yeah, it's exactly right. So,
but Romsey got a bit of work to do. When they do open the ball up, they actually move the ball very well. So, it's good. Their coach will be thrilled. It gives them something to do. If I watch this video again, they'll see when they start spreading and pushing out to open space, that gives themselves more opportunity. So they're just a bunch of workers, Melton Central. They try their best. They've got Lansfield next week. There's a game they'd expect to probably win that, and we've got that.
Yep.
Next week over at Lansfield.
Although Lansfield gave Woodend a bit of a run last week, so it'll be interesting to see how. I haven't seen Lansfield this season, so it'll be interesting to see how they actually come up with that. So
they did, and that's at night where it was a bit slippery, and I raved about Woodend when I first saw them beat Riddle that day in the wet. But they haven't really set the world on fire since. I haven't seen the scores today. Unless you've got them on either. But I'm not sure who Romsey got next week. We'll have a look in the footy record and we'll let you know. But
I believe they got Riddle next week, I think.
Well, that will really test them because Riddle will cut them up with switch.
Yep.
If what we saw when Riddle played Macedon, that's what they did there, and Riddle are going all right. Yeah, you're right, they do. So Romsey, Riddle over at Romsey. So they'd want to be, we know. Riddle themselves, they switch the ball, they move the ball well. Who's going to stop Dylan Tarkson in the midfield for Romsey? But Romsey have got one thing that Riddle don't, is a bit more height.
Yep.
So those tall players, and look, they were just lucky today that Nathan Hoy wasn't clunking them.
Yep.
Because if Nathan started to clunk the ball, they would have been a very different day. He had a day where his hands were a bit slippery.
You are right. Yes, Riddle will pose a whole different threat to Romsey next week.
Yep.
But if the second half version of Romsey come out next week, it'll be a barnstormer. If that first half comes out,
be a cracking game.
If that first half of Romsey comes out, I dare say Riddle will run right over the top of them.
Yep.
But and that's something that Justin Sherman's going to have to work out. You can't have lapses like that against the very, very top sides.
So when you look at a team like Melton Centrals and you say to yourself, what have they got to do now to go to the next level and make? They just got to clean their skill areas up because they actually got let's use the horrible phrase, guts and determination, or the pressure game is great because they just don't give up. They just need to clean up. They come into their forward line or come out of defence is probably more dangerous. They sloppily turn it over all the time. They've got to start switching as well, being brave because they come in too early, and when they do miss the target, it's just a quick goal back and. Riddle have got the forwards too, so
and that's one thing that we did mention about at the start of the game that Sam Empanero was out early for Melton, and he in round 1 against Western Rams, he just tore them to shreds with his big, just constant presenting up the line. Another key forward that could have posed some issues here to Romsey because, as we mentioned throughout the broadcast, they haven't got a lot of big key defenders out there at the moment, Romsey, and. Next week against Riddle, against Benny Sonigan and stuff like that, it's going to be a whole different ball game again.
Well, Riddle didn't win the flag last year because they were spuds, that's for sure. So, and they're a good football side. And, both Tarksons, Lockie and Dillon, and they're hard at the footy too, but they clean.
Yep.
And that's a little bit different what they had today. So, look, good test from next week. We'll know at 5 o'clock next Saturday where Romsey sit on the ladder. If they cop a Belton, it's going to be a middle of the year finish for them. If they're in it right up to the end, they get a fair chance this year because at the moment we probably would say Riddle and Diggers are the benchmark again. Romsey has certainly got some terrific players, and Jack, it's going to be hard for Riddle to stop Jack Jebbob too. So, but Centrals, they've got something to work with. We've got the best one. He's a great forward. I mean, he is a terrific player. So they got a little bit of good future ahead of them. Next week against Lansfield, if I was Melton Central, I'd be thinking that would be a penciled-in win. But as you said, Lansfield pushed Woodend right to the end, and it's their 150th year. It's a big year for the club, and it's a home game for them. They're expecting something. So, at the end of the day, it was a good win by Melton Central. Romsey 13-9-87 to Central's 9-4-58. You and I are at Lansfield next week.
Can't wait. Let's hope the weather holds off.
Yes, it'll be nice. And thank you to the cameraman who set it all up, and the hospitality of Melton Central's footy club, and supplying the truck and the wind and the cold weather. Was lovely. So on that, I think we'll call that a day. Tone?
See you again next week at the exact same time.
Thank you, everybody, and we'll catch you all next week. See ya.
Thanks, guys.